I don't know if I got enough. I'm straight.
You straight like
yeah, come on, man. Don't come on, man. Don't get all crazy on me. Like, help me know. Is my lips good or not, B? Like I'm saying, man. I don't mean like I want you, yo.
Not with the little mustache you got going on, bro. You got to fix that. We're gonna need the full. We will need the full joint.
Listen. I'm trying to get my shit to grow. I always end up trimming it, man. Don't call my shit a Hitler mustache.
Hey, man, there is no shame in what you got because I can't even grow that, man. You're good.
I ain't got no hair. Didn't all the hair on my body. I manscape, man. I'm hairy as hell. Can't get my. Everybody, I want to welcome you guys to the very, very first. Already did to the very, very first episode. We calling this the Veejay's Quarantine Quad Sports Talk. Since everybody is locked away and on the internet. All on their phones, I figured I'd go ahead and take Veejay's unsportsmanlike content that you guys normally get on iTunes. You don't normally can get on Spreaker.com and on iHeartRadio under Veejay's unsportsmanlike conduct. To take it to do a little something different. We're not reinventing the wheel. I'm just sprinkling a little vanilla on it like I always do. I'm your host, Veejay Husky, brought to you by Best in Sports. And I always bring in some of the great sports minds, some personal people. These ain't no Johnny-come-latelys. These ain't no guys I just picked off the streets. These are all professionals. They've all worked for networks. They all do their own thing. And we're going to throw some sports topics around and bring you this show throughout the winker part of the table. So first, I'll introduce the person I've known the longest. His name is Jermaine Thurston. He goes as Snap. Snap owns Snap Judgment, which is his own podcast, own radio show. He also promotes in clubs. One of my favorite football players I ever played with in high school. Father of 3 or 4, I believe. Yeah. What is it, Snap?
4.
So Jermaine Thurston, introduce yourself. Welcome to the stables.
Man, thank you for having me, champ. You already know what it is.
Yeah, man. Up next, man, a gentleman that I do sports with out here. Know him on a personal level. He's come to see me perform. Know his wife and his beautiful daughter. We're both big WWE fans too. Well, now me, AEW, and wrestling fans. So I used to do his podcast. Also used to do his sports talk show, Luis Estrada's Sports House. Also works for Spectrum Sports. Always live covering every Dodger game, every Laker move, media day, the whole 9. So you want to get your news from about those two teams out here in LA. My man, Luis Estrada. What's going on, Luis?
Hey, what's going on, V, man? Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to meet everybody, man. Looking forward to it.
Always, man. And last but not least, man, good friend of mine I know from out in Connecticut when Raynell was working at ESPN. He's formerly from ESPN. Loves to point out that I'm a LeBron hater and spends, I don't know, half his days on my page just waiting to see when I post LeBron shit. So I guess that's kind of how I know him most. But nah, man, good man. Now down in the ATL working for the Atlanta Hawks. And just off camera said Trae Young's having a lot of fun.
Yes, he is.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, my man, Aaron Hill. And what's going on, Aaron?
Hey, what's going on, Veejay? Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on. Thanks for giving us this platform, man. It's always good to talk sports with people who know what they're talking about. Well, at least, 3 out of 4 ain't
bad. You hear this already? You hear how they trying to play daddy already? All right, and then also my son Cameron James in the building too, man, hanging out with us for a little bit until he decides to pitch a fit. And the mama right here behind the screen. So whenever he ready to go to the bosoms, that's exactly where he going to go to. So also, Aaron, you got a show too. I forgot to mention to plug your show, bud.
Oh yeah. It's the No Rules podcast. Right now we rebranding, we restructuring everything, we figuring everything out. Me and Malik still going at it strong, still figuring some stuff out behind the scenes, but we definitely coming back at you guys with full content. Probably sometime in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna do the full relaunch. We're gonna get back into everything. I think this quarantine really slowed some of our moves down. It kind of put a halt on everything, but it's good to kind of really flex that muscle, get an opportunity to work with some more good people. But yeah, No Rules podcast, you can find it on iTunes and SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts. So definitely follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, anything at No Rules Podcast.
All right.
Do you want to give up like anybody in your family's secret recipe for their Kool-Aid niggas that you had all of that to say too?
I mean, yeah, like I want to shout out Bebe, all the kids. I want to shout out John,
Momo,
Nick.
Pookie,
yeah, I don't know too many stereotypical black names off the top of my head, but we got Rob,
my homie. I'll give it up to my homie, Baboon, my nigga Quarter Sack. All right, so let's get right into it, fellas. We know what's going on right now. Big sports stoppage, man. Everything just comes to a halt out of nowhere. All of us and everybody that is watching are mostly or hopefully are all big sports fans. Let's start with you, Louise. What do you think, just off the top of your head, that the stoppage of the sports what do you think the long-term effects are going to be of this?
Let's go short term. Short term first. As soon as it comes back, everybody's going to be flocking to it because all you've seen on the internet, on Facebook, Twitter is how much people miss their sports. This is day 2. This is day 10 with no sports. So you're starting to see that already. So once it comes back, it's going to come back huge. I think the long-term effects is I think people are starting to realize that sports, as much as we love it, and I love it all, it's more of a novelty than a necessity. And people are going to start maybe taking more time with their families and not putting so much of a stake in sports.
Yep. What you got on that, Aaron? What do you think the long-term and short-term effect of this whole sports stoppage has been? And what has it been to you? How's it affected you?
Well, first of all, to answer the first question, the long-term effect of this and the sports stoppage is going to be that this is one of our seminal moments. I'm sure a lot of people remember the 96, I believe it was, Olympic bombings in Atlanta. I'm sure a lot of people remember, how 9/11 affected the fall of 2001, and that's how Derek Jeter, as you wear that blazing Yankees cap on your head, that's how he became Mr. November. I'm sure a lot of people remember even back to, to get LeBron in there to remember Ray Allen hitting that step back 3 in the corner in a game that Miami Heat probably should have lost. So like it ranges the whole gamut, but people are going to remember 2020 for the year that stopped sports. This is the only event that I can think of that literally stopped sports. And I think for that reason, it's going to live in infamy. As far as how it's affected me, it's killing me. It's killing me. Like, when we found out that it was going to cancel games, like quite literally, that's what I do. That's what I do. I work, doing the Hawks home games. And while the season was going to come to the close and they were going to be in the playoffs, not having that sport or really any other sports to go to after that, it's killing the freelance market. There's a lot of people that work and make money in sports that are freelancers like myself, that are struggling right now or trying to figure something out. So I think that really is how
over here.
it's affected me.
Yeah, over here too, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yourself included. I'm not sure about any of the other gentlemen on this program with me, but yeah, like that's really how it's affected me personally and a lot of people that I know.
What you got for me, Thurston, man? What's up, Snap? You got a family, you got kids, you are big in football, you coach, your kids are dope in the sport, they win championships, everybody follows you out there, man. You're a big figure out there. As a dad, you're a sports dad. You're not just a dad, you're a sports dad, and of course a sports fan. How's this affected you?
Well, it's affected me is because, me teaching these young kids how to play, I'm used to off season, but an off season where we're not competing and getting ready for the next season because we don't know what's going on. It really hurts me because I like to go out there. I'm a competitive person. So it definitely affect me in the short term. It's more of, just getting ready for the next term, but in the long term, I don't know what's going on. And I want to prepare my kids that, maybe it's a lock. Maybe this is like a lockout when you get older. I want to teach them what's going on and let them know that during this process that, you still have to train and do your thing. So me being prepared to teach is hurting, but me watching it, it really hurts because I look at like Vince Carter, where he's not going to go out like Kobe did, or or these college players who worked hard to get to the NCAA tournament to get their price rise up. They can't get to show their talent. It's because their season been cut short. So it hurts on both ways, man. So it hurts. I hate it, man. I really hate it. Real talk.
No, I'm with you guys too, man. And just my quick answer right there, because the platform is really to give you guys most of the lip and airtime. But I think the lasting long effects, I'm kind of with Luis a little bit. I think once it's over, we'll remember this year, but we'll move on. It was just like 9/11. It's just like World War II at times where sports was stopped before. Olympics we haven't participated in. I can remember the 94 strike for Major League Baseball season. People don't remember that Griffey was on a tear and was looking to crack 70 home runs plus that year. Griffey was just on a tear. He had and it wasn't even an all-star break, and Griffey was already at 32, 31. Griffey was in a zone for about 3.5 months that no pitcher could get him out of. I think about that. As far as what Aaron said, I agree. This has never happened before. I have never in my life lived in a time where when I cut on my television, there's absolutely not one sporting event in the world.
People not even bowling.
You can watch.
Yeah, they're bowling.
They're not even
Are they still bowling?
They're not even bowling.
Nobody bowling. Oh, okay, I was about to say, hold on, man. That's some bull. How y'all still can bowl? Nah, everybody gotta go home. Everybody go night-night.
Right.
Everybody go night-night. You don't get the bowl. No, so I'm with you guys on that, man. NBA, NCAA were the first two leagues to say, okay, we got to suspend things. Major League Baseball follows, then NHL. A few things about those leagues. I don't think the NBA season will continue. I got some pettiness about that, too. We'll get into that a little later.
Yeah.
I thought the NCAA waited too long. I didn't really think that there was anybody at the top. And I feel like conferences were kind of acting, and then even schools, because Kansas and Duke were like, we're not going to the tournament. Before either one of them stepped on the floor for a conference tournament. They hadn't even, because they're both 1 and 2 seeds in their conference. So they weren't going to play till Thursday. On Tuesday, they said, we're not going to the tournament, so don't worry about having us at Selection Sunday. We're not even going to play our tournament. So there was no leadership there. I thought that could have been better. But I do agree, you do have to stop things. You do have to get everybody, as quarantined as possible. I don't think you need to shut the nation down on martial law. And then, MLB. So, Luis, I'll start with you first again. Now, matter of fact, man, let's go back to Snap. Snap was last, so Snap will be first in the second round here. We do it different than around the horn. Snap, did the leagues act right? Do you want to see them back? Or would you like to say, listen, whatever's going to happen, let's just get through this for the next 3-4 months, and let's make sure our football starts on time?
I think whatever happens, because like I said, we ain't come to the athletes of having this virus until my man from Utah came through that he had it. So we seen that it was real in the sports, in the sports world. So I think they handled it right. But I think the way they handled it, especially with the NCAA, was just you having a tournament and then you stopping instead of proceeding and seeing what what would happen. I think the way they ended it and Duke saying they're not going to be in it, it really just took the hawk of it, because this year in the NCAA, you ain't know who was a dominant basketball team. So we really want to see a NCAA this year. We were like, all right, really wasn't no favorites, but you can have favorites. So I think this year would have been a lot of young athletes who would have been, oh man, he's nice, would have been rejected for number 12, probably could have went number 3, could have went number 4, but we're not able to see that. So that's why I hurt, is because not seeing these young kids come up to be like, hey, I know I'm worth 12, I know I'm worth 3, but I'm still getting picked at 12.
And not only that, real quick before I go over to Aaron, seniors too, man. You gotta feel for a kid that when he left the court last, he had no idea, not to any fault of his own, that was going to be his last game. Cassius Winston, a few other senior names we can throw around. And then schools, San Diego State, Dayton. Like they were like Dayton, people projecting Dayton to possibly be a 1 or even as a 2. Dayton's never been that high before. Pride and joy of Mr. Dan Patrick, always loving his Flyers. But those are two other things about college basketball. Aaron, NBA, MLB, NCAA, take your pick. Did they handle it right? Would you like to see the leagues come back and have everything try to be crammed in? And we may not get the true champion this year. How do you see that?
Okay, so first and foremost, really just to tie bow on things that you all were all talking about. Started with Luis talking about the NCAA and the players and things that'll be affected by. Like, it's just, like what we saw with Steph Curry when he carried his team to the Elite Eight. Dwayne Wade when he carried his team to the Final Four.
Yeah, Wade got to a Final Four.
Right, George Mason when they made their run. Not that it's necessarily attached to a specific player. That Syracuse team that was a 10 seed then went to the Elite Eight. There's so many instances, Butler when they went to the finals 2 years in a row, really.
Against Duke,
Yeah, exactly. We won that game, by the way. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that you're robbing us as fans, but it's also
Butler.
It's also I thought it was going in too. It's one of those things that robs the fans. It robs, unfortunately, the players, and then unfortunately for the seniors. But shout out to Scott Van Pelt, former work colleague of mine, for doing senior night on his Scott Van Pelt Sports Center. A couple of days ago, I believe he did a senior night where he just had people send in photos, seniors, high school, 8th grade, whatever it is. He had them all send it in, and he featured them on his show. So a big platform, giving these kids a chance to really be seen and heard from, because those kids are the ones that hurt the most. Hard to give baseball credit because easy to cancel or postpone a season in spring training. You haven't really gotten anything started yet, so there's nothing to lose, honestly. And they've had strikes before in leagues, so I think every major league has had a strike or a shortened season before, so it's not going to be a big deal if baseball has to come back and play a shortened season. I will say that the NFL did it right, because I remember exactly what happened. Was cut my boy's hair, and we heard that the Sixers and some were actually playing. There was games going on. The Hawks were playing. Everybody was playing, and it was like the Thunder versus the Jazz game was like postponed for some reason. Then everybody got quarantined, and that's when we found out that Rudy Gobert had it. And everything just went
that
straight
came
downhill
pretty
from
quick.
there.
Yeah, the Gobert news came fast because they had to come fast. And I thought every league acted accordingly. Suspend everything now, get everybody off the court, off the field, off everything. I said 2 weeks ago, you guys can forget about school. You forget about college graduate. You forget about prom. This is not – I talked to a doctor friend of mine, and I remember waking Raynell up one morning, maybe about a week ago, and I told her, I said, talk to a doctor friend of mine who's a physician that went to high school with. And I asked him, I said, is this a 4 to 6 week thing? He said, no, this is a 4 to 6 month thing. If not, and he said, and that's – I said, that's the minimum? He's like, yeah, that's it.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
So,
like big time is gonna be a lot of money out of people's pockets. It's gonna be a lot of boredom. Just speaking from that aspect of it. But honestly, if we got to sacrifice in what really becomes the short term in order to help the long term, that's a pill that we all gonna have to bite. That's a bitter pill we all gonna have to bite. But yeah, it's definitely unfortunate. But yeah. It doesn't matter how they got there. I think the fact that all sports eventually got there, I'm cool with it. Everybody got to the point where it's time, like, yo, let's suspend it. And, like, for me, I'm a bottom line guy. As long as you got there and it seems like nobody gotten hurt from that, no fans, no players or anything have gotten hurt from it, then, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Luis, what do you got on that, man? Just pick your league. Did everybody handle it right? Or NBA, should they start it? Should they cancel? Let's go there with you, Luis. Should the NBA – we know these other leagues are done. College is done. They've canceled all spring sports for college. So even baseball that just got started, softball that just got started, anything that's in the spring, they've already canceled all of that. Graduations, prom, all that stuff's gone. So the only league we can really look at is NHL and the NBA. NFL, Do you try to get these games in if you can start in July, or do you just say, listen, guys, we just can't be greedy this time. We're greedy every other time, but this one time, you billionaires, you just can't be greedy this time. We got to shut this league down, pay the players the rest of their base salary, and let's just move on to next year because they're not – we can't play without fans, okay? Anybody who thinks that they can play games without fans, you are – have anybody WWE fans out there? Did you watch SmackDown and Raw last week? Are you kidding me? You got two guys in the ring really trying to pull off this match and these moves with nobody in the arena. Like you feed – I'm a comedian. You feed off live crowds. I do live radio. I freelance for Fox Sports West. You feed off live stuff. I can't do a radio show with nobody listening. So you can't do that. But do you wait and try to cram it all in, Luis, or do you just shut the NHL and the NBA down? This just happened. 220 just got our asses, man.
In my opinion, you got to shut them down and just keep them down. Start up next year. I understand why they want to do it. You've got the money, all the money that you're losing in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. People have made the comments you're losing a year of of guys that are at the end of their career. A guy like Vince Carter, a guy like LeBron James, who are a year older. They're more towards the end of the career than the beginning of their career, and they don't get that swan song like I think Snap was talking about earlier with Vince Carter, like Kobe did. So I get it from that aspect, but you got to think about the long-term health of not just your players, but your fans and your workers that are inside those arenas. People kind of forget that in order to put a game on, it's not just the players and the coaches and what you see. There's so many things that are happening behind the scenes from your ushers, your food, the people that prepare your food, your vendors, your media, all the media that's there. There's so much.
You can speak to this really because this is what you do for Spectrum. You are a guy like you're right there. You're up front center like media did when you send me the pictures. You're right behind the camera. You're right up there with all the mics, with all the cables, with all the power, with everything that they need for this. Aaron, you have experience with this being with ESPN. You know how this works. So, but I just wanted to interject that, Luis, that you I don't want the listeners to think you're just blabbing low. This guy, this is what he does for a living. Go ahead, Luis.
Absolutely. And so those are the people that you don't necessarily see, that people don't think about. These are people like Aaron was talking about earlier that freelance, that have families that they rely on this for support. They rely on this to make a living. And that's a huge, huge deal. But to me, and maybe everyone will agree, maybe not. To me, the long-term health of everybody is what's most important. Because what happens if you rush to get people back in there? and you start rushing fans back, because people are going to come back. People are going to come back and be there. But what happens if you rush back and one person is infected in that arena?
Yes.
Just one.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden you've got a whole new outbreak again, and that's something you don't want. You don't want to have another wave. Let's stay quarantined. Let's make sure we do it and do it right. Like Aaron was saying earlier, baseball's fine because you can start later and still have a shortened season.
You can knock 40, 50 games off of baseball.
Yeah, I don't need 162 to know the Red Sox are going to suck. Like, I really don't need it.
Absolutely. But as far as, hockey and the NBA, I love basketball. I love watching it. And I agree with both Aaron and Snap that, missing the NCAA tournament, yeah, it hurts because you want to see those guys, especially seniors, have that run, have that chance at a top seed or even improving their draft status. But for me, the biggest thing right now is everybody's health, because you don't know what everybody else is going through. A lot of people don't know I'm diabetic. Okay, I don't really broadcast that out there, but I am. So I have to be a little bit extra careful. Now, if I go back into an arena, let's say in July, somebody has it because they decided to play, NBA playoff games, and we're there, somebody has it, and I can still contract, this disease. What happens to me then? Now I go back off of work for another 14 days minimum.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want another player getting infected.
Correct.
So there's a lot of different things to consider. It's not just as simple as let's throw everybody out there. You mentioned, the WWE and what they're doing. It feels really, really different with no crowd in there.
It's bad, man. They're chasing money.
It looks
They're
awful.
chasing money by
Absolutely.
putting that on.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell. You're still – did you quarantine the arena? Did you quarantine?
Right.
Right.
What
You
are
still
you
need camera
doing?
ops. You still need switch
Yep.
operators. You still need people in the
you still
trucks.
need
Like,
all of
people
that
see
stuff, man.
Steve Austin and them, like, talking to a group of no fans and just
Oh
chairs
my
and stuff
God,
like that. But
it was
there's people
horrible.
that put that ring together. There's people that put those wires together, hung those lights, or working those lights, operating those lights. There's, a director, a technical director, operators, all that kind of stuff. One thing that I really wanted to pose to you guys, really along the lines of some of this coronavirus and how it's being affected and how it's going to affect things going forward. Thing that just popped into my head as Luis was speaking here. How is contract language going to change now? Because you have guys, say you're entering a contract year, you have guys that are playing out their minds, or you have guys that are, playing, they have incentives in their contract, or are playing for a new contract, or, maybe they didn't start well, but they want to finish well, or guys that are, entering that middle era where they're trying to earn that second contract, that big contract that you get in leagues where they could be without play for a full season. And these guys are losing money, or these guys are about to enter into free agency and they have a legit beef like, hey, I've earned the right to be a free agent. But then you also have owners who also have a right to say, like, hey, through no fault of our own, we lost half a season here. Like, how are we going to make up for this play? Like,
It's
this,
a loss.
this
It's a
stuff that
loss.
we have. Yeah, it's just
It's
a
a
net
law.
like how, how's that stuff going to work?
I think that it should be
Go
a
ahead,
law.
Snap. Yeah, take that, Snap.
This is where you're going to find out where owners and what you feel, who you are to that corporation or to that team. I think right now, to me, if I was a owner, if it's basketball, hey, this season, don't even chalk it up. Chalk it up. Don't even count it. I wouldn't count the incentives and all that stuff because, like you said, someone's going to hurt, some are going to gain. But we gotta treat this like an equal. So to me, it's more of, all right, this season, don't even count them. It's like an NCAA or like the Michigan. It's like your title getting taken away. When you play so much, you accomplish stuff, and stuff get taken away. This is a part of life. This is some things that we're going to gain, so we're going to get taken away. So right now, I would charge you, if I was the NBA, this season probably never even existed. You can still count the stats. But when it comes to incentives of money, we treating everybody the same. It's zero.
Yeah. Well, I don't know zero, but I think whatever your base was should be paid out because the guy writing the check is a multi-billionaire. He already had the money to pay his players anyway. He's got the money, and he made endorsement money. He made marketing and promotional money. He's all right. But when the league stopped, if their money stopped, then it's like, listen, okay, we can't finish out the incentives. I get that. Keep the stats. But I still should get, like, if my base pay this year is $9.873 million, I still should get my check for $9.873 million. You have the money, and I don't know if it'll happen, but that's just back to what you're saying, Snap. We'll find out a lot about what these owners, like Mark Cuban, dog, let me tell you something. Mark Cuban can sleep with my woman, bro.
Okay. All right.
He can. Let me tell you something.
Does Ray know this?
Let me tell y'all something about me. You hear me? Man, let me tell y'all something about me, dog. I am as comfortable in my own skin as I've ever been over like the last 3 or 4 years of my entire life. I don't care. When I know somebody a good person, man, I'm going to mess with them on many levels. Now, no, he can't sleep with my wife, but if I found out about it, the first thing I'm going to ask her is, all right, well, how much did you charge him? Because he's a billionaire.
That's a fact. A tech
I know
billionaire.
you didn't give him no free. I know you ain't give him no free draws, lady. Damn. I know we ain't get nothing. We don't have Mav tickets. You didn't get a Dirk jersey, nothing. Just gave it away to Mark Cuban.
You want a Luka jersey, but you don't want a Dirk.
It's Mark Cuban. All right, cool. But, owners like him, God, man, when you talk about, he's the first to come out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm paying the stadium staff, not the Mavericks franchise. I'm paying the stadium staff for what they would have made, because he realizes, dog, I got $8 billion. I'm okay. I'm okay. So this was gonna cost me what? $20 million? Okay, here you go.
And the thing, honestly, that I loved about Cuban's statement, to piggyback off that, is the fact that it was so unrefined. Like, so many people wait to have, PR people write their statement and stuff. Cuban's never been that way. He's always spoken off the cuff, so I'm glad he stayed on brand there. Whatever, but, I know,
like LeBron, though. Okay,
I know you mean that facetiously, though. But, with Cuban, he just came out. He's like, I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know what we're going to do specifically, but I know we're going to do something. I know we're going to look at – and that's what people want to hear. As a person who works in the stadium, that's what you want to hear from the owner, from the guy that's got their name on the bottom of your check. You want to know, like, look, we going to figure this out because I know that you're affected. That shows me that in the immediacy of it, he knows his millionaires are okay in the long run.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm sorry, you won't be able to buy a Lambo next week, but like you'll be fine. Your lights is gonna be on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your family's like, your mom is like gonna be on. Like, but for my people that's making, a minimum wage, or my people that's making a freelance wage just to work 41 home games, we got to do something for these people, because even though there's only 2 weeks left in the season, that's 2 weeks that they were depending on to make their money. So let's figure this out.
And you never know what their per game is and what their hourly. Like I work Redskins. I work Redskins Stadium, man. Mm-hmm. Some you can make a good living part time or full time, depending upon where they go. Like I'm in security. In security, I tell people, get a guard car, bro. They always need security guards everywhere, especially in stadiums. And you there, like you could be the dude standing right by the locker room. That might be your post. So you get all of that. But you're right. People do have to be taken care of. And those people, as Luis was saying, there's so many people that help a game run and help a game go. So let's do a segue into free agency, because we're talking about free agent players, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Everybody knows what's going on around the world. I don't worry about things I can't control. But NFL, all three of us, or four of us, all three are huge NFL guys. So am I. My favorite sport is football by far. There's nothing close to it. If they got rid of everything else in the world and just had football, I would be okay. Even if you just had college, or you just had pro, or you just had high school, would not matter. I would be just fine in sports.
No, you can keep college.
Free agency. I know you like basketball. You like, it's cool if you like to play like the softest.
No. NFL I'm cool with. I just
the softest sports were like if you hit them on the hand. Then they get to go stand in the line while everybody don't do shit.
Hey, brother, I was with you watching NFL.
And they got to shoot this one shot. Oh, I made the shot, so let me dap everybody up because I made one damn free throw. And then let me get set. Let me get set to do it again. Like, if that's what you like, cool.
Pass it on.
Football, NFL, free agency. I gave you guys 3 categories: biggest surprise, biggest signing or move, sleeper signing or move, or blindsided by, which basically means, let me see. Okay, cool. Actually, they gave me some extra time, so we're good to go. But anyway, biggest signing or move, sleeper signing or move, or something happened that just blindsided you out of nowhere without using Tom Brady, because that's easy. I want to make the show a little hard and really interesting because everybody's talking that, so let's go deeper. So I'll go first on this one. My biggest surprise signing was that my Dolphins gave Byron Jones over $80 million and over 50 guaranteed. Luis and I was on the call earlier talking, and I'm not sure about that move. I'm really not. I know he has the measurables. I'm a football guy. I know he's got the measurables. I know he started out as a safety. It is very hard to move from safety to corner. It's much easier to move from corner to safety.
He was a corner in college, though.
Yeah, but he started out as a safety. But
they moved him to safety because he ain't got no hands. That's why they moved him.
So he goes to corner. Don't give up a lot of big plays, but sometimes when I watch corners, I played corner. I was all conference corner my junior year. He loses the ball in coverage. I don't like that sign. I'd much rather you either just be maybe a piss poor tackler or something. But corners that do this a lot, I'm not with, because that means you can't find the football. It means you give up big plays. So he didn't give up a lot of plays. He just gave up big plays for Dallas. And people can use the excuse that, well, Jerry had to pay everybody else. But, yeah, dog, you was paying everybody else except Dak, which we'll get into. Yeah. But at the same time, you paid a guard, bro. You have to be able to cover people in today's NFL. You got to have guys to cover. So I get why they made the move. I just think that when you think about some of the guys in the draft coming out, you got a Cooter. You are sitting there at 5. If you don't make the number 1 trade the picks to jump up to number 1 with the Bengals to get Burrow. There's some young guys on the team that do like it. Then you still got Anton Winfield Jr. that's coming out. Everybody knows how beast his dad was when he was at Ohio State and then had a 14, 15-year career in the NFL. So that would surprise me. My sleeper was the fact that Dallas actually franchised Dak. Dallas has screwed this up from the beginning. In today's NFL, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your team is. If you want any semblance of trying to win football games, you must take care of your quarterback, period. All the way around. You must take care of him by a line. You must take care of him by a back or 2 backs nowadays. You must take care of him with a number 1 and then either a decent B and an okay tight end that can work the seam and work the intermediate routes. You got to take care of your quarterback. And the way you really got to take care of him is you got to give him his money. I don't care if you don't think – the NFL isn't about what you're worth. It's about what you negotiate. Shit ain't about – do I think he's worth $40 million? No. 37, 38? No. 33? Yeah, because that's where the other mid-market is. You got to pay me what the market says. You can't just blow ball. So 33 down to 26 on the front. That surprised me. And then they gave Amari the $100 million. It's like, oh, wow. You mean the guy who couldn't stay on the field the last 7 games of the year last year? Started dropping some balls, started kind of getting disinterested. I don't like receiver. Only 2 guys that could do that and be successful was T.O. and Randy Moss. Every other receiver that eventually gets disinterested, don't want to play, divinous. Let's go through the Chad Johnson, Antonio Brown. Like, we can name names for years. Guys, Moss, T.O., the only guys that was able to do it and still go bust ass. And then my blind side of me was the Hopkins trade. I don't even got nothing to say about that. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell Bill O'Brien is doing. You got you had the Michael Irvin story. I don't want to dive into that because if he threw Aaron Hernandez's name at him, we know what a sick, crazy son of a bitch he was. And talking about his baby mamas. Now you got the race card in there. So if Bill O'Brien did that, he dead ass wrong. I don't know. I wasn't in there. Just the move itself just made me go, are you serious? You going to do this to D. Watts? You going to take D. Watts' number? So now the storyline's going to be, oh, well, D. Watts is overrated. He got lucky that 1 year when they were up 24-0 against the Chiefs. And it's like, no, you're taking my weapons from me, man. So, Luis, we'll start you on this one right here. Free agency, biggest sleeper, and what blindsided you?
For me, the biggest one is Ryan Tannehill with the Titans. 4 years, over $100 million. Here's my issue with it. Is Ryan Tannehill has always had an excuse made out for him. Oh, he didn't have weapons. He didn't have this. The excuse this year was
he didn't have a line in Miami, though.
No, he didn't. He
didn't.
But he still had to. You still got to make plays. At some point, you still got to make plays.
Okay.
And I never saw enough out of Ryan Tannehill to say, yes, he's a guy that I would put my hopes in. He goes to Tennessee this year. He takes over for Mariota. Yeah, they have a good run. And all you heard was he's finally healthy. He's finally got a line. He's finally got this. Okay, well, now he's got to shut up and prove it. There is no more – you can't sit here and make any more excuses for him. So for me, that was the biggest move is him staying in Tennessee because now he's got to show up and actually prove it, or else we're going to see he may be just a Trent Dilfer-like quarterback That may be who he is. We're going to see. My sleeper.
Really pick on the biggest. Just really pick. Did they keep him because Tom said no? Or did they keep him because they wanted him? Or did they keep him because they couldn't pay Tom the $30 million he wanted? Really quick, your opinion on that.
I think it's a combination of they wanted him and Tom, they couldn't afford the $30 million to Tom.
Okay, yeah, because they're strapped for money.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
So it's better to do something like that than have to go back into the draft. You signed Tom Brady, okay, great, but now you got to go back in the draft in a year or two and draft another quarterback and start all over again.
Very true.
Not a good thing. My sleeper signing is Michael Brockers going to the Ravens. I really like this.
Yeah,
I like it. I like Michael Brockers a lot. Yeah. He had over 10 sacks last year. I think he had like 11 with the Rams. He's been playing off of Aaron Donald, so he knows how to come off the edge. He's going to help strengthen that defense. If there's one thing Baltimore is famous for, is that defense. Every time you think they're going back down, they come back. I really like that signing there. And I think it's something that's people aren't going to look at and be like, oh, that was a big deal. No, I'm telling you, as a Rams fan watching this guy is a stud.
I like that. I'm gonna keep an eye because I like that move too. Because like you said, the one thing they do there in Baltimore, newsflash, people, since '99, they play defense.
Absolutely. And then my surprise move for the offseason so far is the same one as you, the David Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins trade. Yeah. To me, it makes no sense from a Houston standpoint. I understand you got to run the ball, but you're taking away Watson's number one target, arguably the best receiver in the NFL today, and you're taking him away.
Michael Thomas?
No. Well, you could go Michael Thomas. You could go DeAndre
Okay,
Hopkins.
So one A, one B, depending upon who you're talking to. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
That's cool.
And the thing being is, yes, you need a running back, but you're going to take away the number one target you have, and you don't have a solid number two. You can talk about Willie Snead, you can talk about whoever, but you don't have anybody else. Look, you had DeAndre Hopkins on that other side, and you still couldn't find a legitimate number two.
Well, Fuller can't stay healthy. That's Fuller's problem. I do think Fuller's a number one when he's healthy, but he can't stay healthy.
But that's just it. Can you be a true number one if you can't stay on the field?
That's true.
You're right. And that's the problem with David Johnson. Yeah, he's a great running back when he's healthy, but since he had that breakout year 2 years ago and got that big contract, he can't stay on the field. So from a Houston standpoint, this makes absolutely no sense to me. I mentioned this to you before. I'm really afraid that Houston's going to end up doing the Deshaun Watson, what Carolina did to Cam, and give him no receivers.
Yep.
And then they're going to sit there and blame him for
it. Basically go win games, and then you get the people on TV and the radio say, well, he's running too much. And it's like, well, yeah, but when my best receiver is Devin Funchess, who is a tight end recruit at Michigan, and wasn't that great. I'm a Michigan fan. Wasn't that great at Michigan? And you're telling me that's my number one guy. And then when you give me a great weapon, he happens to be a running back, and I wish I could split this guy out, but I still need a guy out there. This dude back here, this guy's bad. This is a bad boy back here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
But, I feel you.
When your best receiver was your tight end that can't stay on the field and was that way for 4 or 5 years, that's a problem.
Yep.
And I'm afraid that's going to happen to Watson down in Houston.
Yes.
Snap, what you got, man? Biggest, sleeper, and blind. What just like that, man? Just blindside. Like how we used to hit them fools on defense when we was in the secondary. Snap play free safety. I play left corner. Snap, real talk, our junior year, did we give up a passing touchdown all year long?
No. I don't think
so.
We
didn't give up a passing touchdown. Every touchdown on us was on the ground.
It was on the ground.
Okay, yeah, all right. I was just because I be bugging. I smoke a lot. I be forgetting stuff. So
it was the opposite sides. I would have ran them down. So this is cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Snap was fast as shit. Biggest sleeper, blindsided.
My blindside, like I said, was Hopkins trade, and I agree with the situation where I think you're gonna treat like Watson like we do with Russell. You're going to make him do so much that by the time you get more talent back in there, that he's going to be wore out and you're going to blame the season on Watson. You know what I'm saying? And he's incredible, but you're giving away your best receiver, one of the top receivers in the game, and he's gone. That's my blind side. I didn't really see that coming, but that was really just whoa, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
My surprise, of course, is Rivers going to the Colts. I'm a huge Rivers fan. I didn't think that a team like that, where I think he could take him to the playoffs and Mike can make a run because of that division, is because he can take over that division. And Rivers is the type that he could throw 50 passes in a row and you not stop him.
Yeah.
So and Brissett did a good job in the first, but I think with the experience with Rivers, I think Rivers can carry them a deep way where it's going to be like a Brett Favre on when he went to Minnesota type of run. He can make that magical run for the Colts.
Get to a conference champion. I'm with you. They could get to a conference championship game because let's say they're in an easy division. Jacksonville's down. Tennessee's, right there. We don't know what's going to happen with Houston. Let's say they go 12-4 and they end up with a 2 seed. Well, then that means they get to play the first 2 games because remember, with the additional playoff team now, only one team gets a bye with the additional playoff team for each conference. So only one team gets a bye. So they get 3 home games or 2 home games back to back, being the 2 seed. Yes. I can see them having them then go on the road. So per se, say a conference championship game. Yeah, and I think most people hear that and go, they're not getting to it. But it's like, bro, it's only 2 wins, and if you get 2 of those games at home. And Rivers, you got a chance to get to the conference. Yeah. All right.
And Rivers that type of competitor who could take them and do that. Yeah. I just want to see him at least get to the Super Bowl, at least get there and compete. And he got to win it, but just get there. I mean, to me, he's the best quarterback without a ring. He's like a Charles Barkley without a ring. That he's like, to me, better than Marino when it comes without a ring. I mean, without a ring. That's my Rivers. Rivers is competitive, bro. That's just my opinion, bro. What I eat don't make you shit. My sleeper is definitely Gurley coming to Atlanta. I think with his injury coming on turf, I think it's going to be even worse. I mean, I feel Atlanta, then especially with Tom Brady in this division, and you got the Saints. I don't really see Atlanta in the next couple of years even winning division. Because to me, the only ones who can win the division in that division is the one who wins the division goes on to be a Super Bowl contender.
Let me ask you this, Snap. There's a report I read yesterday that they said his knee's in bad shape. I don't know how true that is, but which I don't like. Now you're starting to hear these stories come out, the one thing I hate in sports the most, my thing, and just like period, man, if you got something to say it while I'm here. Don't wait for me to leave. Don't wait for me to leave, bro. Say it while I'm here, man. Don't wait because you think I'm going to get – if I get my feelings, I get my feelings. But I would have more respect for you because you said it while I was there. And now you're hearing these stories where he started to change personality-wise, like, oh, God, here we go. Let's tear him down on the way out. But I'm with you on that, man. Atlanta, I was glad he picked right up. But 1-year deal, I'll ask you this question, Snap. Does this sound like a player that's going to early retirement? Like, I got my 1 payday. Let me sign 1 year. Oh, by the way, home, where he's from, in Georgia.
I think
and this then is – be one of those guys like a year from now saying, oh, I'm done. I'm going to go do something else.
His run as a running back, which with Gurley, which I loved him coming out, is over with. I mean, with that, like I said, with that, definitely with that injury coming on turf, it's different cutting on turf than cutting on mud or dirt, the regular artificial. And with that, with the way Atlanta plays, he's going to have to make cuts because one thing about his division, they got fast linebackers.
Yes.
So you're going to make cuts, and he's going to make a cut. I'd rather keep Freeman than get Gurley. That was just my opinion of being. I'm not an Atlanta fan, but I watched him play, and I see that to me that Gurley was just to make him happy. I guess go out with a bang because of what he did previous in his career. It's my opinion.
And he's got his money because he's going to get 6. He was cut because he was promised 10. Luis is a big Rams fan. Luis, can you back that up? Am I right on those numbers?
Yeah.
He was guaranteed 10 like 2 days before he was cut, right?
Yeah, 10.5. They had to cut him or trade him by like 12 o'clock that day or that bonus kicked in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, no, I'm with you, Snap. I'm trying to really figure out where Atlanta is. I think Atlanta's one of those teams that they have a lot of players people like, so I don't think a lot of people hate them unless you're a Saints fan or a Panthers fan or a Bucks fan. It's a great town. Everybody loves the A. Everybody loves it. Y'all starting Freaknik again? Like, it's about to get it's about to get cracking. It's about to get cracked. Aaron done put us on, told us Trey Young is having a marvelous time in Atlanta. On the Instagram, I ain't gonna front though. I saw the Instagram. I was like, all right, vanilla brother, got your little abs. Trying to show
how y'all do.
You bored? Yeah, come on, man, y'all.
Bottom lip bites and thirst traps.
But y'all, hold on, y'all thirst shots too. Y'all brown skin dudes, y'all put oil on y'all shit. So it's just so it glisten. It don't glisten on light skin. It don't glisten on light skin.
That's natural glow. That's melanin is what that is. The way the light hit it just activate the melanin, bro. It blaze like a turkey, son.
I love y'all fellas, man. So anyway, just to wrap up with you real quick, son. No, I'm with you on that, man. Trying to figure out where they are. Let's just jump back to Rivers because you got me really intrigued with this Rivers thing. When I saw it, I was almost like, it wasn't like or like a, damn, why he do that? It was like, yeah, I can see that. He's gone in there as a Charger and had some battles in that building. There was a report out that he had told Albert Breer that, hey, I love playing here. Like when I was with the Chargers, we had some wars in here. Didn't they stop their like 20-something game winning streak? The Chargers went in a regular season game like 41-33 against Peyton Manning, and that mid 2000s 04, 05, 16, yeah. So he went in there and won a playoff game. Did he not go in there and win a playoff game? Exactly. So I know those things. So I'm like, okay, I can see that. But let me ask you this: give me a record.
Give me a record for the Colts.
For the Colts, for what is your guy, Phillip Rivers, who you said was better than Marino. Give me his record this year.
I see him 10-6.
That won't get him the number 2 seed in the AFC, though.
I give him 10-6 in the dome. I think he can carry 10-6.
All right. Okay. Well, then they ain't going to the conference championship at 10-6 because they got to play one of those playoff games on the road. They're going to either have to go to the Chiefs or the Ravens.
But one thing about Rivers, he completes and he elevates his game during the playoffs. But
you know what? Rivers just win the 2 years ago, right? Chargers went into Baltimore, beat Baltimore. Am I mistaken?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Sure did.
The defense did that though. Defense did that.
Now see, if I'd have said that shit about LeBron, you'd have been like, "Come on, V, why you gotta say that, V?"
Well, LeBron plays defense.
It's a team game,
basketball
V.
ain't no
You always have to chastise.
Offense and defense.
And you know, this dude told me on Facebook the other day. He used the word chastise. He's like, "Oh, come on, I know you're not talking. You chastise LeBron any opportunity you get." You chastise LeBron anything.
You absolutely do. You know you do.
I know because I love. It's like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. He's a guy I wish I liked. It's not like there's guys I don't like. I would have never liked them. There's athletes I never go and mess with. I'm never going to like Jim Kelly. Never gonna like Jim Kelly. I'm never gonna like anybody that battled my Pistons. There's very few Duke players that I like. It's like Trajan Langdon, Jay Williams. Rashad McLeod.
The Alaskan assassin made the list. It's because he's light skinned.
No, Trajan was real though.
It's because he's light skinned.
No, it's because he's a vanilla brother. My favorite Duke player all time is Grant Hill. Grant Hill from the 703 VA, where I'm from. He played at South Lakes High School in Reston, Virginia, in Fairfax County. So it's the area I grew up watching high school basketball. And Jay Will, man, was
my favorite college player of all time.
I would have loved to have seen because I believe he was Derrick Rose before Derrick Rose, and we just didn't get a chance.
I mean, he was in the high school dunk competition. Like the dude, he had explosiveness. He could absolutely jump. He was a big guy. He could pass it through all.
He was just an assassin, man. When it was game time, he didn't pass the Dunleavy. He didn't pass the Boozer. It
was my
shit. Pass the bag. He didn't. Jay
one of the
Will
few two-time player of the year.
Buckets, man.
Player of the year 2 years in a row.
Yeah, he went and got buckets. All right, Aaron, your turn. Biggest sleeper, blindsided, free agency. Holla at us.
All right, so first I'm gonna go with the blind side because for me, I can't say necessarily that this is a blind side because it shouldn't happen. I think it's more of a blind side for me just because that's a move that can't be made. Like with the Carolina Panthers moving on immediately from Cam Newton and signing Teddy Bridgewater to $63 million for 3 years.
That's on my honorable mention list, just so you know I had that down.
Yeah.
For me, I just think it's the guy gets injured once because of an offense y'all set up. Because of the offense you had him run, and like we mentioned, he didn't really have receipt. He had the late version of Steve Smith after, his glory years. And since then, his best.
They let Benjamin go.
Right. They let Kelvin Benjamin, but that's really because of his attitude. And he wasn't really all that great either. He was more of a possession guy, like a number 2. He was
he's a total possession guy.
Like Mushin Muhammad. What Mushin Muhammad was to Stephen Smith's number 1 back in the Jake Delhomme days.
Yeah.
Kelvin Benjamin would have been a great Mushin Muhammad, like that 6'5", go up and get it, red zone target kind of dude, who might have his seasons, but like everybody know who to run. He never had that guy that was going to get you, 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns easy.
No,
he'd never had that guy. And unfortunately for me, I mean, for him, he just seems to be like the scapegoat. They got Ron Rivera out of there. They got a new coach, so you could see it coming. That's why it's not a full blindside. But I think the Panthers fans are going to miss him more than they know. I love Teddy Bridgewater. All respect to that man. This is not a slight at him at all. I hope he does well down there. I really like, Teddy Two Gloves. But Cam Newton is going to be sorely missed. He's going to be sorely missed. And whoever gets Cam Newton, that's going to be huge.
Oh, Cam got a chip. For them.
Yeah.
Cam got a chip.
And he's not old. He's 30, 31.
No, thank you.
He got 60. Like, people act like this dude didn't come into the league throwing 4,000 yards. He can throw.
Yeah. When
you give him opportunity to throw, when you give him people to throw to, and that's why I think him being able to create – I hope they release him so that he can pick his team. He can handpick, the receivers that he's going to be able to throw to. The
Miami Dolphins on line 1.
It's not going to happen for the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins on line 1. Black coach. Hold up. Minority city. He loves the city. Black coach. The only black GM in football. Miami Dolphins on line 1. And then we don't have to do the trade with Cincinnati. They can keep their 1, and we'll use 5 to take Okudah out of Ohio State and bring him as a young buck in a defensive back, just in case the Byron Jones move has to be cut 2 years from now. See that?
In case, you go ahead and book that. You definitely have to get rid of Byron Jones.
I know. I saw your face. When I said Byron Jones, I saw your face.
Yeah, my man got bricks for hands. I never heard of that. Like, there's no cornerback in the world who should get $80 million of anything with 2 career interceptions. Like, no, sorry.
I know.
No, just no. Absolutely not. But then, so for me, the sleeper move, I will say Calais Campbell for what really, in effect, turned out to be a free agent kicker signing. Because through reading some of the articles, that free agent kicker that they signed, I forget his name, started with like a V or something, some weird name. Kicker that they signed, had him in camp, developed him. He got a lot of buzz last training camp. They traded him, got a 5th-round pick, I believe, from the Minnesota Vikings, I think it was. They got a 5th-round pick from the Vikings for him. That 5th-round pick they got from trading their kicker, who then didn't even make the team you're shaded to, by the way, is what they used to sign Calais Campbell, who, was an all-pro just 2 years ago, was a Pro Bowler 2 of the last 3 years at Jacksonville.
He's still disruptive as hell.
He's one of the best defensive linemen, in the game, and he's so versatile. He can play interior. He pushes the pocket. He makes the team better, and he's a great locker room guy. He's a really good addition to that Baltimore Ravens defense. They're going to have horses in that stable, so that's, I think, a really good under the radar move, low cost for them too, because that 5th round, it was a bonus pick.
Well, hold on one quick second, but if think about it, what Luis said too. You add that to what Brockers. I mean, what Baltimore is building right now.
They're building. And see what they're doing is number 1 receiver away.
But not even that. You know who they're protecting with all of these moves? Who do you take care of first? Your quarterback. Just in case Lamar needs a 9-point game win in the playoffs, until he develops all the way, we got to give him that. Because they just only gave up 16, 17, and lost at home. He couldn't even muster that. So now they're like, listen, it might come to a game where we can only give up 10 points to win a playoff game. He's not ready to take us there yet. We need, like you said, receiver, but let's just go all chips on D.
And this is the draft to get a receiver. So
I think this year,
there's going to
be a 4th or 5th round guy this year.
Yeah, you don't even need to get the. I honestly want to say for you Ravens fans out there, Laviska Shenault, look for him. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that kid Shenault, 6'2", he can make the big play, but you don't really need the Henry Ruggs, that guy that runs like you got Hollywood Brown. You don't need Henry Ruggs.
Yeah,
give me a guy that's
they do got Hollywood.
I need a number 1 guy. I need that guy that's not going to be afraid to go over the middle, but he can also give me 5 catches for 120 yards. Like I need you to be able to do both. And there's plenty of guys like that. T. Higgins is another one I think people sleep on because he doesn't run the 4-4.
Wisconsin is going to be a 3rd or 4th round sleeper too. And being a Michigan fan, I watch a ton of Big Ten basketball.
So there's going to be a lot of good. There's going to be a lot of good.
There'll be a 4th or 5th round rookie this year that will be trying to find to put on our fantasy teams by like week 8, week 9 when one guy's not producing or you get an injury. And then last one, who's your what was the biggest one you had, bro?
Biggest move, I'm going Homer here, just because I know my Raiders the best. Corey Littleton. That is a huge pick. This is the first time I've been excited about a linebacker in my Raiders since we got Napoleon Harris back in the day, and that never really even worked out for us. For me, it's the defense really starts with your captain, your anchor in the middle. Like, everybody wants a pass rusher. Everybody wants that 10-sack guy. Everybody wants the DB that gets you 4 picks in the season. Everybody wants the safety that's going to be on all the highlight reels, knocking dudes out like Cam Chancellor, or, flying in there for interceptions, like Eric Reed was doing back in his heyday.
Well, I don't need a Cam Chancellor because that just means you're going to have a neck or a back injury and you're only going to play effectively 5 years.
For me, what I need and what I need in today's NFL and what I need in my division, more importantly, is somebody that's going to be able to compete. You're never going to be able to guard Travis Kelce. Let's just keep it real. White chocolate is unguardable. But I need a guy that's going to be able to compete. I need a guy.
Don't ever call him that again.
No, he's white chocolate.
Don't ever call him that again.
No,
don't ever call him that again.
No, it's white chocolate. That's his name.
No.
Look, you think you comfortable in you found your match in comfortable. I'm comfortable with that man, just like you said for Mark Cuban, he gets all my respect. His shorty is A1.
Well, you like him like that. You're the only guy. You're the only guy that hashtags is on social media. It isn't cheating if it's Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You guys don't know. Y'all follow my man Aaron. That he hashtags that. It's not cheating if it's Rihanna.
It's gonna be in my vows. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Now, whether or not my future wife allows me to say that out loud, like, it's fine. But I'm gonna tell her on the honeymoon, like, yo, I really put this in my vow. Like, I want you to see my vows written out. Like, out of respect for you, boo, I didn't say it, but I felt it in my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just think it's important to have a linebacker out there that can do it all. He can cover, he can tackle, he can rush the passer. He's used to the California lifestyle. He's used to having, the bright lights on him. And I think that we needed a guy like him, and the other guy, Kwiatkowski, that we got, to bring this team some leadership. But he's also young. He's only in his mid 20s right now. So he's got leadership. He's got experience, but he's also young, and he doesn't have a big injury history. And he's a guy that's earned it. He's not a guy that was just the number 1 overall pick and just been that guy. He's a guy that's always fought for it, always earned it. And he's just getting his payday now. So I love getting guys that's like that. On here's your money now show me what you got to do. No state income tax, you better earn all the millions, buddy.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see what he can do. I think that having a linebacker like that in the middle of this defense can transform everything, because I think this Raiders team, you get an anchor. Let me use this opportunity to, first of all, I'm going to apologize.
Hold on for a second. I thought I lost y'all for a minute. Y'all still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, okay.
No, I just heard a noise. I did hear a noise, though. But no, I got to use this platform, this opportunity to apologize to Mayock. I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. Like, they signed Mike Mayock. I was like, yo, white privilege move of the year. I could not believe that we signed Mike Mayock. I did too.
When he was on NFL Network, when he was doing, I do color, so I love color guys. When he was doing color on NFL Network, bro, those Thursday night games, I felt like I got smarter every time I watched him do a game.
Yeah, no, and Mayock, he knows the game. I understand that, like, it's everything, but like, to me, it would have been like if the Ravens signed, Mel Kiper to be their GM for me. Like, it was just so weird to me to see a guy like that who had no front office experience.
Okay.
Anything before that to come in and, he knocked it out of the park in his first draft. He made some really, really great picks. Loved Max Crosby. Loved, getting Hunter Renfrow in the building. That's he's going to be a great possession receiver down the line for the Raiders. Tough guy.
The back from Alabama.
Yep, absolutely. Josh Jacobs. The safety, John Abram, who didn't get a chance to play because he hit too hard. So we'll get to see him this year in his, his de facto rookie year. But I just, I got to give it up to Mike Mayock. I hope, he continues on that momentum, continues on the trajectory for this draft. But I like what he did in this free agency. Marcus Mariota is the best backup the Raiders have ever had in my time of liking the Raiders. They have a solid depth in their linebacking core, I think, with, signing a guy like Littleton, a guy like Kwiatkowski. And I appreciate some of the moves. I'm not in love with the Aguilar move, but we'll see what shakes.
you talk about Nelson, right?
Yeah, Nelson Aguilar.
I mean,
in a
I'm,
deep
I'm,
receiver
I'm out
draft,
here
I
in
just don't
LA.
think
Yeah,
it's
I'm out here in
necessary to take a
LA.
flyer.
And I go all the way back with him at USC, and then of course, just he was a stud out here in high school. Well, since you talk about your team, I'll give these other two gentlemen to talk about their team. Luis, we'll start with you. I know you're a big Rams fan. You and I talked today. 2 years ago, I agree with everything they was doing. They decided to sit down at the table, and like shout out to Kenny Rogers that passed away. You know the old saying, man. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them, and don't ever count your money when it's on the table. And they didn't do that. And they said, well, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and push all chips in, and we're gonna sign Ndamukong. We're gonna make the trade for Marcus Peters. We're gonna bring in Brandon Cooks. We're gonna bring in Team Khalid. We're gonna bring in Whitworth. They went for the Super Bowl, and Belichick just stifled them, gave him 3 points in the Super Bowl. But now all those contracts, we saw the Gurley thing. I thought Cooks was going that day too, because he got the crazy deal. And I won't spoil the surprise, but you were telling me earlier why you didn't like that deal. Talk about that deal, and then what do the Rams need to do, and what type of season do you see from your Rams this year?
Well, the problem I had with the Cooks deal wasn't the fact that they got him. It was the fact that the Saints were really eager to trade him, and they traded him to New England for, I believe it was like a 4th-round pick. Yeah. Then Belichick, after 1 year of having a guy who's got the potential to be a number one guy, trades him after a year and lets him go to the Rams. And then before he plays it down here, right. And then before he even plays it down, you sign him to a 5-year, $80 million contract. Before you sign Gurley, before you sign Goff, before you sign Donald. You and I were doing shows back then, and I was just like, what are they doing? You're not even taking care of your own guys, and you're already signing a guy that was just traded twice in 2 years. There's something there. Whatever it is, I don't know. Now, I like him. He's a nice, diverse receiver, but is he a true number one? I'm going to say no, because I've never seen anything from him. You know, this goes back to we've seen a lot of turnover in the NFL where guys say that they're number one receivers or think they're number one receivers, or because they were a high draft pick, they're a number one receiver. People need to understand what a true number one receiver is. A number one receiver is Jerry Rice. A number one receiver is Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown at his height. They're not Nelson Aguilar. They're not, these guys just because they were high picks. Yeah, you'll remember Laquan
Treadwell from Tennessee.
Ole Miss.
Absolutely.
Right.
Ole Miss. Total. Ole Miss. Matter of fact, that year, the mock draft people had Miami taking him, and I was like, oh, God, no. Please don't do that to me.
Right. So he was, I believe, the number 15 pick. Everyone expected a whole bunch of stuff from him. He never got off the bench in Minnesota. So we need to understand what a true number one is. Look, Amari Cooper's considered a true number one. He's good when he's in the game.
Yep.
But when his head's not there, he's just kind of another guy.
Yep.
So you look at like a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. He's got all the number one talent.
Yeah.
But is he someone you can trust as a true number one?
No. Odell wants to be more of a superstar than he does a great football player.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's why when people say this guy's a number one, that guy's a number one, just because you picked them high or they're number one on your depth chart does not make them a number one receiver. And that's the thing with Brandon Cooks. He can do a lot of different things. I think he's got the speed to stretch the field, but to me, he's more of a possession guy. You don't see him breaking tackles. You'll see him if he's got open space. He might run away from a few guys, and he can do some things coming out of the backfield. Great. To me, when I look at Brandon Cooks, he reminds me of what they were trying to do with Tavon Austin, only better.
Yeah.
Because he's a better football player than Tavon Austin is. Yeah. But that's what he reminds me of. I like Cooper Kupp a lot. I think Robert Woods, he's been the one guy that they brought in at receiver that has impressed me with what he's done over the last couple of years. But he's a number two guy. They don't have a true number one.
See, I disagree right there. I think Robert Woods could be a number one. I mean, following him in high school to JC or high school, I call the games and cover high school out here. So I've and then through USC, like I've watched this kid and I'm like, but it's like, does he want to work hard enough? So I'm not saying that he's not. Does he want to? Because he's the guy that's got to work. He's gonna have to work.
Right.
But he can be, like you mentioned, Treadwell. I don't care how hard Treadwell worked. He wasn't gonna be a number one. He couldn't run routes. He was just fast. He couldn't run routes. Who was Darius Hayward Bay?
Yes.
Why?
Aaron
Why?
knows. Aaron
You
knows.
could have said so many
Yeah.
other people, but you
Yeah.
had to bring up a Raider.
Oh my God!
That's all we was gonna talk about.
Because I was living in the DMV at the time. He played at Maryland. Maryland
Right.
tickets were cheap. We used to go to a football game. I saw him playing high college, and when he got drafted, I was like, but at the combine,
Bro,
the 40.
I still have nightmares from that draft.
Go ahead, Louis.
Because the Raiders legitimately didn't draft him because Michael Crabtree went on air on somebody's airwaves and said he wasn't going to play for the Raiders. That's the only reason the Raiders didn't take Michael Crabtree with that number 7 pick, and they took Darius Hayward Bay.
Darius Hayward
Unbelievable.
Bay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Louis.
Unforgivable.
So
Finish up about your Rams, buddy.
So that was my problem with Brandon Cooks, and I still think it's the same thing. Gurley, you look. Somebody else said it earlier. His knee is messed up. They just didn't want to admit it, and I think Gurley leaving might be the one addition by subtraction the Rams are going to have in this year, because they're not going to have that distraction. But
And Mac Brown's good.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But you lost Dante Fowler on the offense or defensive side. You lost Corey Littleton. You lost Michael Brockers.
Yep.
You're losing Clay Matthews. You lost Ndamukong Suh 2 years ago.
Yep.
You're losing these guys that you came in, that you went all in for. And I agree with you. You had to go all in when you can. But now you've got nothing left.
Yeah.
So now the question is going to be, we're going to see what
Don't forget Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters. Guess where he is? Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Right. And his first game, what did he do? Have a pick six.
Exactly.
So,
Play Pete.
Yeah, right. So we're going to see what Sean McVay can do offensively. This is going to be the time for Malcolm Brown. Is he going to be really the new guy, or is it going to be Henderson, who had some injury problems last year? That defense, not only did you lose all of those players, you also are losing Wade Phillips, your defensive minds. You're coming in with a new defensive coordinator, a whole bunch of new players on that side, and you're hoping to re-sign Jalen Ramsey, who I like a lot. But is he going to be the guy that anchors your defense? No. So the Rams, I'm not expecting much from. I think it wouldn't be surprising me if they're last in the NFC West.
Great stuff, man.
Ooh, wow.
And I want to – no, because I was going to say that. It wouldn't surprise me this year if they're 5-11. It wouldn't.
Definitely.
It wouldn't. You got Seattle twice. You got the Niners twice, who were just
So
in
you
the
think the
Super
Cardinals
Bowl.
make the leap?
And you got the Cardinals.
Yep.
And you got the Cardinals, who just got DeAndre Hopkins, who each of us picked was the blindsided free agent move that we have. We can't. Nobody can make sense of it. Not on TV, not on radio. Us. Nobody can make sense of this move. And you're giving that to Kyler Murray, and you're still going to have a high draft pick, and I believe they have 11 draft picks. Like, I'm going to give Cliff K down there. I'm gonna give him a shot. I'm not gonna. Oh wait, he can't do it. He can't. I don't know if he can do it. I don't know yet. I haven't seen it.
They're just fine in year one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But towards the end of that year, they started to really come together, and they were in every single football game. That's coaching. It's like I hate to keep going back to Miami, but listen, early it was nasty. 56-0, 49-0, and then 37-0 to start the year. It was ugly. But they're sifting. They're trying to figure who even wants to be here. Because if we got to just redo this shit, that's why I'm here. We're not doing no more MacGyver work. Y'all remember TV show MacGyver? He could break out a room with a bottle cap and a paper clip and some bubblegum wrapping and make a bomb. Like, we're not doing that shit. We're starting from the beginning. We're making spaghetti while boiling the tomatoes down to make the sauce. We're going to cut the peppers. We ain't buying none of that.
Are you hungry?
Shit. Yeah, I am. Well, we got over here. We got some pinto beans. We got some hot water cornbread.
You're giving up
and
the
we got
family
some
secret for the spaghetti. I got to calm you down right now.
And we got some collard greens over here going and smelling good over here. But but by week 8 or 9, even though Miami started 0-8, you can start to see it change. You can start to see the games getting closer and closer, and against good competition. A cool stat I found the other day. Last 9 games of the season with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick was 4-5. The last 9 games of the season, what Flores had in Miami, they were 5-4, and they beat Bill Belichick head-to-head. So coaching, that to me, I looked at that. I'm like, God, that's because listen, I'm a big fan. They were playing guys. I had no idea who they were. I was like, who the hell is that corner today? What the hell is that? Tankersley from Clemson? What? He's getting
the running back position was really crazy. I was like, who the hell y'all had running?
No, because once Xavier Henry got hurt, you're right. It was a bunch of, but it shows you with coach, because they just said, listen, we're gonna find out who. We're not getting fired. This is our first year. We got a black team that I'm attached to. We don't really have a quarterback. We got Ryan Fitzpatrick just trying to play his ass off, and we have a bunch of young guys. Another cool stat: Miami Dolphins, youngest team officially in the NFL. They have one player 30 years old on that roster. He broke all of that out of there and all of that down. And to Luis's point, they're gonna have to at some point with the Rams. I think it start. You gotta if you go 5-11 now. I think they should say, listen, we're not gonna fire you, McVay. We still believe in you. You took the Super Bowl, but we got to wipe all this shit out. We missed it. Aaron Whitworth, 38-year-old left tackle.
Right. Well, here's the other problem with the Rams. They don't have a first-round draft pick for another 2 years. They don't have a second-round draft pick
for another
2 years because of the Ramsey trades and the trade to get Goff and stuff like that. So they're going to have to do it with, bit parts here and there, trying to get
coaching.
Right.
Yeah. Coaching.
Absolutely.
But it's also selling your parts when you got them, though. You sell off a guy like Goff, sell off a guy, you're not going to want to hear this, but that's how the Raiders ended up having to sell off Khalil Mack. It might be how y'all end up having to sell off Aaron Donald.
I'll tell you what, I would sell off Jared Goff today if I could find something to take.
He's never – we go back – Luis and I go back in sports. He didn't like him at Cal.
No, I didn't like him at Cal.
Nope.
I thought Carson Wentz was the better quarterback and the better pick. The only problem, and I told this to Veejay about a year ago, the only reason I would change it to Goff now is because Wentz can't stay on the field. Yeah. Otherwise, I would still. Yeah. I'm just going on actual football ability. I'm still taking Carson Wentz over Jared Goff.
All right, Snapper, Giants fan, right?
Of course.
Okay, because just so y'all know, Jermaine, we played together in North Carolina, but he's originally from Brooklyn, New York. He's a New Yorker, and he just ended up being shipped down to the countryside because he was in New York wilding out. You know how your mom would send your ass to the country when you in the city wilding out. That's how his ass ended up in the countryside. That's how we end up playing at Union High School in Ingold, North Carolina. I know none of you know where that city is at all.
I was born in Greensboro, but I have no idea what Ingold is.
Yeah, it's out there in Clinton, Wallace, Rose Hill. It's in the sticks, but we still a lot of talent comes out of that area. So Giants fan, man. You guys Saquon, you guys have moved on. Your quarterback looked like it was a hit. Everybody criticized the Giants. Guy comes out of Duke out of nowhere. But I still question the line. You threw a deal on the table for Clowney. I know the money didn't match up and the deal got taken back. But just to even throw that kind of deal, I'm like, don't do the Olivier Vernon and the Janoris Jenkins and the Eli. Don't do that again. I said it back then. Those were dumb. And it's almost like somebody had to save them from themselves. You can take Clowney for a year or two. I wouldn't be giving him no 4 or 5 year deal. He ain't producing like that. But your state of the Giants, what do you see out of them this year? And what you guys got coming up in the draft? You guys have 4, right?
Yes, we have 4. I see our Giants at least. I mean, our division sucks because you never know. It's either between us, the Eagles, or the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Cowboys going through so many situations right now, dealing with contracts and situations like that. I mean, Jones, I picked Jones even over of my man that came over to Ohio State. People look at me, but I knew because he fits so much like an Eli. We're not too much on high quarterbacks. Even when we won, Sims wasn't a high quarterback. Hospital wasn't a great quarterback. We rely on defense and somebody who can contain an offense. Just like how Baltimore won. Their defense won. Flacco just contained the offense. And that's what the Giants do.
Trent Dilfer?
Now, you think about if Eli wasn't a Manning, he would have been just an average quarterback.
That's true.
Been like a Sims.
Yeah.
Been like a Sims. So you just knew because who his father was, you respect more than him. He did what he was supposed to, contain an offense. And that's all Jones do. That's all the Giants do. With a great running back like we always have, I think if we don't do an offense, I think we're going to get Clowney, hopefully for 1 or 2 years, or even Sue, somebody on that line that can help the defense if we don't get an offense, at least a number 1 receiver to take off of what we have out there. We never had a top-notch receivers, but we had everybody who played good positions who can contain the offense. Yeah. We got a great running back. We don't need that big offensive receiver, but it would be good to get one. But if we don't, then defense. I mean, we always had good defense. Peppers got hurt. I mean, we made a good run at the end, and we almost did it. Containing what we had.
Jabril's a player, bro. Jabril, you're right. He got hurt. Jabril's a player, though. Trust me. Get him healthy and get him into a system and use him as like your Viper back. You're like your Viper deep. Yeah.
It's just a sniper going around. Who's gonna? And he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
If the team is worth that. And I think the receivers and everybody believe in Jones. I think they see it. And now it's just really, to me, it's just the coaching staff. You got a great team. I think it depends on more of the coaching. Do they believe on what the coaches are saying? I think we got a good team. We got a good squad. It's just of the coaching staff and putting everything together. Defense, offense.
I'm with you too. A few free agents. I mean, the coaching move, nobody knew who the guy was, so they took a hit from that. You're moving on from Eli. I love Saquon. I was wrong. I'll be the first to admit I was wrong on Saquon. I compared him to a running back from 1994 that ran roughshod all over everybody in the Big Ten except for Michigan and Ohio State. And when he got to the bowl game, first time he touched the ball, he went 80 yards against Oregon. Everybody said, oh, look at this guy. And he got drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. His name was Kajana Carter, and he never did shit. And exactly. I thought we were looking at the same guy. He has completely proven me wrong. He works out literally 3 minutes from my house. Notre Dame Prep Academy. You guys can look this school up. Big time Southern California school. They get D1 kids going D1 all the time out of school. He was over here the other day work out. This is the school that he uses. And one of my coworkers was up there picking his son up who runs track and showed me a picture of his damn quads and his calf muscles from behind. And I'm like, oh, damn, is that why he breaks? Damn, so that's why he breaks so many damn tackles. Goodness gracious. But he's legit.
And I'm here with Atlanta. I see Brandon Jacobs. I help coach with him. So Brandon Jacobs is a big guy too. So we always had good backs. So looking at him is like, wow, we just need that. Just.
Oh, that's right. You did coach Brandon Jacobs.
Yes, I'm with him now. So we do things. So just more of we just need that. I think that we come out either one or two. I don't see Redskins more than us. I guess the problem we're having in Dallas. And I don't see, I see us coming out at least 8-8. I see us 8-8 this year, going to the playoffs.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I totally agree with you as far as Haskins is concerned, because when Haskins was coming out of college, there was a lot of numbers that everybody wanted to see. Oh, he threw 50 touchdown passes. It's like, bro, Urban Meyer does this with quarterbacks. Just show me Urban Meyer's. Show me Urban Meyer's
Chris Leak,
quarterback in the NFL. You can only go back to Alex Smith. And it took Alex Smith a long time to actually gain people's respect. Like, if he was, listen, I hate to say it, if Alex Smith was black or was a talker, he'd have been out of the league. But he played his card smart. He kept his mouth shut, and he just worked and was just there and there. Never complained when he didn't have a line. Never gave the press anything to go print that was going to get, misconstrued by a teammate and then put it in the press and cause locker room issue. He was smart enough to say, I'm just going to play however long I got. And then Jim Harbaugh found him. And when Jim Harbaugh got a hold of him, Jim Harbaugh, he only got hurt. The only reason why we truly know about Colin Kaepernick beside the anthem is the simple fact that Alex Smith got hurt. That's the only way we know about that guy. Because he was, I think they were 7-1 at the time where he got hurt. So they were on their way, in my opinion, to at least the conference, into the conference championship game. So I'm with you there. A few things on your Giants. I question the receiving core. I do like Sterling Shepard out of Oklahoma, but I just don't.
He's a slot.
Because my thing is he Kenny Stills? Exactly, slot. Is he Kenny Stills? Because Kenny Stills is from there. Like, there's some guys that are in the league that are out of that receiving, passing offense in Oklahoma. They're quarterbacks, they're receivers. They could get to the league, but Sam Bradford's the biggest one we'll think about. We'll think about Landry Jones. Like, Landry Jones is in the damn XFL. Like, let's just call it what it is. The man is in the XFL. So the receiving core worries me. The defense, I just think they just really blew it with the Olivier Vernon. Olivier Vernon had a really good year in Miami. Olivier Vernon, had a really good year in Miami because he was playing offside Cameron Wade. Cameron Wade was coming off of a 20-sack season. So, of course, the following year, he had a lot of attention put to him, and Vernon capitalized off the other side. And he happened to be a free agent, and the Giants were like, oh, yep, we'll go. And I'm like, bro, if you don't have a 20-sack guy on the other side, you might as well throw the tape away from 2 years ago, because that's why he got the 15 sacks that he had his last year in Miami. So, and then the Janoris Jenkins signing, I never liked the Eli Apples draft pick. I thought that was kind of a wasted pick. But I'm with you on Haskins, just to go back to that. I'm with you on Haskins. And Washington is sitting there like, Rivera's even said it, man. Like, I don't know. We don't know what we're doing at number 2. We don't know. We might be taking a quarterback. We might be taking Tua at number 2.
Tua at number 2.
Yeah,
and you trade Haskins and get a first-round pick or something for him. But
no, you're not getting. I don't see. That's the thing, though, Aaron. I don't think you're getting a first-round pick for Haskins.
I think you can't. It's too early. It's too early not to. I don't think that they trade him if they can't get one. But I think you take a guy that was taken. What was he taking? Like number 2 last year, or whatever. He was a first-round pick. Or no, like 15 or something like that last year.
He was eighth. Nah, he was way down.
I was about to say, where was he saying last year?
I think it was 15.
15 or something. Yeah. He's like, he was in the middle. He's in the team.
You talk about a first round quarterback, only 1 year in. He's only 23 years old, something like that. He's a big guy, big arm. Like, whoever's trading for him is trading for him because they believe in what he can do. I think for them, you're not getting no king's ransom for him, but you're not trading him unless you can get a first round pick for him at this point in this career. And I think that they can still get one. It's just not going to be a premium first round pick. You're not getting a lottery level pick for him. You might get a pick somewhere in the 20s or something like that for him, or you might get like a second and third round pick that you can flip and get a first round pick for. But you're definitely not.
If you do, you're sending him to somewhere like somebody who has a quarterback he can learn from. So you're looking like what, Pittsburgh, or you might look at the Colts, but he's not going to go.
Yeah, you're looking at a plug. You're not looking at a plug and play situation. You're absolutely right. It's going to be one of those situations where
Saints, you're going to be a backup somewhere until you learn.
Somebody that wants to take a flyer. Somebody wants to take a flyer. Maybe your quarterback's on the way out, and you're like, this guy fits our system. He's what I do. I actually kind of like your Pittsburgh statement there because he's like Black Big Ben to me. Like that's just what he's always looked like. Big dude. More athletic than you'd think because he's so big, but he's, it's not like he's fast. He just, Ben Roethlisberger moves around.
He throws a really nice ball too, man. I hate to admit it because he's a fuck eye, but he throws a really nice ball. I just don't think, like you said, he's big. He's got to be in a situation. There's certain guys in my lifetime that no matter what team they have around them, Elway, Marino, Aikman needed a little help. Aikman was great, but he needed help. Marino was going to be successful no matter where he went. Phillip Rivers, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, Mike Vick. Like, you want to talk about a player. Do people even remember that Mike Vick's best receiver was a borderline overweight tight end named Algie Crumpler who couldn't run for shit? That was his best offensive weapon, and he was still Mike. Just give him.
Algie Crumpler looked like Brian Balaga with a suntan. That's a big dude, bro.
Oh man! And then what really helped them is they gave him Warwick Dunn, and then they were able to run these stretch plays because Warwick Dunn was so great off the edge on the stretch run. That goes back to Florida's Bobby Bowder's offense at Florida State. And then he was able to add the bootleg to it. Vic so fast, and Algie. If he caught 80 passes, 65 of them were off of Mike Vick's bootleg. So that was Mike Vick's best weapon. So I do believe certain guys in my lifetime, they're just going to be successful when they come in there. It doesn't matter where they go. It doesn't matter. Like, I think Pat Mahomes, he might not be a Super Bowl champion right now, but I do think he'd be a playoff quarterback no matter who took him because he just has that talent. Your Kobe's, your LeBrons, your Jordans, your Magics, your Birds, your Kareems, your Durants. It don't matter where they go. If you draft that kid, you're good for the next 10 years. It doesn't matter. You may not win a championship, but you're not going to be in the middle and you're not going to be in the big. He's always going to be like fight right here, then put some pieces around. I think Haskins is a guy, and I agree with you. I'm with you too, Aaron, on Snap. I never even thought of that. I love the Pittsburgh reference because black quarterback, black head coach, Tomlin's safe there. I thought they were going to fire him. But he did kind of save that season, scheduling, whatever you want to call it. It don't matter. I believe when you buck with a chin strap, bruh, you still got to beat who's on the other side. They get paid on Wednesdays too. They get paid on Wednesdays too, bruh. They play D1 too, bruh. So I don't like, they play the weak part of, hey, man, you don't know what this D tackle fighting for this week. You don't know what that safety fighting for. They 1-10. Okay. But there's certain guys on that field, they're fighting for that next meal, bro.
Right, exactly.
So they already know we might lose today. All right, let's say it. When they're driving to the stadium, trust me, they're like, man, shit, I'm glad I only got about 5 more weeks of this shit, but I'm about to go out here and get mine. So you're not just facing a team and they're just going to all quit and give up. So I don't like scheduling. But Tomlin, I think, is solid and safe there. I like that one. 3 more things before we roll. Let's I don't want to do it, but just really quick, each of you, if you can, try to keep it quick. Brady, Bucks, what's going to happen? What does it mean? We know the weapons, but I didn't go there. I didn't want to, but, I mean, shit, might as well. Luis, you go first on this one, man. I say Brady, Bucks, and then what do you have in return?
Doesn't matter if they can't stop anybody, period.
Okay. All right, shit. Short and sweet. I
like that. I like that.
I like that. All right, A-Town, talk to me, man. Brady, Bucks, I say it to you. Your response is?
Fuck you, Belichick. That's really all it comes down to. Fuck you to Belichick. He's like, you don't want to give me a receiver. I got two. Now it's fuck you. He don't got to win the Super Bowl. He don't got to do nothing. Just go out there and throw for 40 touchdowns to those two monsters at receiver and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Man, and the thing they didn't get is a back. I toyed with Gurley, and then I even toyed with Melvin Gordon because there were reports that Melvin Gordon would be on their interest list. The Melvin Gordon, that was one of my honorable mentions to Denver. It's like, oh, okay, well, they just waived Flacco. Okay, so now they don't have a quarterback, but you're going to go to Denver. All right, I guess he just loves living
No,
close
Drew
to
Lock's their guy. Drew Lock been their guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can he play?
He's pretty good. I can't say shit. He beat the Raiders in his one game against us, so I can't say nothing.
Hey, I'll say this about Drew Lock. It reminds me of Brock Osweiler when he was there. That, you know, they brought Osweiler in, gave him a half a season, did really well, and then they paid him, and we're like, okay, we're gonna see what he can really do. Drew Lock's in the same boat.
Oh, I like that. Okay, yeah, I'm with you, Luis. I ain't buying Drew Lock. Snap. I say Brady, Buccaneers. You say
9-7, second in the division behind the Saints.
Wow, 9-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Division suck over here. If now Atlanta, the Bucks ran Atlanta, and if they did that with Winston throwing all the fumbles and interception, imagine what Brady can do.
I'm gonna go different, man, than you guys. I think 11-5. I think those weapons are just. Listen, man. I like athletes that have major, like sneaky ego, and I like assholes. I do. Isaiah Thomas, Dan Marino, Jeff Gordon, Rafael Nadal, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods. Those are Rasheed Wallace. Those are my guys. You can't
say
tell
Michael
me
Jordan's
nothing
not an
about
asshole. You're not gonna put Michael Jordan in there. We're not gonna put Michael Jordan in the asshole category.
Because I'm a Pistons fan, and this is something a lot of people don't know about me. Because I'm a Pistons fan, I grew up hating. I grew up hating Michael Jordan.
It's true.
Now, if you ask me who the GOAT is, I'll tell you it's Michael Jordan. If you ask me who the best basketball player that I ever saw in my lifetime as a whole, it was Michael Jordan, and then Kobe's going to slide in there right underneath him. So, rest in peace, Black Mamba. But I like a little bit of that. Brady's got a little bit of that. Brady's got a little, like you guys don't know I'm married to the richest model of the world. Yeah, I got on some Uggs. They came with this $50 million endorsement deal, asshole. Yeah, I got on some Uggs, I can cut my hair. I can wear it flowy. I can jump off rocks into the water and shit and scare the shit out of y'all. I can even post a picture of me that's one of those pictures that you gotta, is he coming or is he going? And then Super Bowl Sunday, it's like, man, this is a damn Hulu ad. And all y'all talk all damn week long about, you think he didn't do, that's that arrogance, that I kind of, because that's some shit I would do. So I kind of like when guys do that. If you guys don't think that Brady's ready to go to camp and ready to start this season down there with those weapons and light people asses on, he might have to win some 40 to 38 games.
I agree with you because now he's in the heat. He's not in the cold when it gets
No. The ball flows nice. And back to your Phillip Rivers point about how he talked about Indiana. Tom Brady said his favorite state to play in was Florida. Because he goes down to Miami. Now, we will beat them, but we don't shut Tom Brady down. We may win the game, but Brady throws that thing. He goes, I love throwing in the heat down here. The ball just flies. Yeah. He goes, it comes out so fast. I don't even have to put a lot of effort into like the deep ball. He goes, I can just, in the humidity, just carries it's beautiful. So he's going down there to throw to those guys in that Tampa humidity. I don't think the defense was as bad as everybody else thinks it is. I also think the division's going to be worse. I know you like Teddy Two Gloves, Aaron, but I think this was a bad signing there. Even with his time in New Orleans, that defense kind of won some of them games where he played for Breeze. He didn't have that game where he kind of went out and you just went, wow, man, look at Teddy Bridgewater. Damn, he's going to be a starter somewhere. He's going to be at this. He was cool at Louisville. He was cool in Minnesota. He wasn't super great. The injury, I think, makes people go, well, come on, man. He got hurt, rightfully so. Because if we're going to save it for one, then we need to save it for everybody. That's, I try to stay consistent with it. But even when he's healthy and I'm watching him, it's like, damn, dog, you have Michael Thomas, who led the league and broke the record for catches last year. You just throw him the football, and you kind of played average, and you had the best receiver in football.
No, I think he'll just be cool over there. I think he knows who he is. I think he'll just be cool. Like I said, I loved Cam Newton. I did not understand getting rid of him. I don't understand moving on from Cam Newton before actually getting him off of your roster. I think that's going to be a mistake for them. You lose leverage that way in a trade, or when anything, you lose leverage that way, signing your successor before you even get rid of the other guy who's still, by the way, in his prime. But no, I think Teddy Bridgewater is a guy.
It was a slap to the face is what it was, and that's how
Teddy Bridgewater's 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions guy. That's what he is. 25 and 10.
This year,
3,500 yards.
They don't have
Andy Dalton, but he's black.
They don't have a receiver. He's 19. He's 19 and 12. They don't have a receiver. He's 19.
No,
and 12.
DJ Moore's pretty good. DJ Moore's pretty good.
The defense is not consistent. The defense is not consistent.
Yeah, and they just lost Addison.
They just lost Kuechly.
They just lost Kuechly, and they just lost Addison. No, that team is. They're in rebuilding mode. And listen, if they believed in Teddy, it'd have been a 5-year deal and not a 3-year deal. They could cut him after next year.
Yeah.
So
well, Teddy could have also asked for that deal. Teddy could have also asked for that deal.
Which means it was a stopgap. But Brady, I bring up the Panthers because I don't think the division is going to be that good. I'm with Snap. I don't think the division is going to be that great. And something I said about the Saints last year when they lost the conference championship game to the Rams. You guys remember that Thursday night game at Dallas? And I come home, it's in the third quarter, I forget to set the DVR, I turn the game on. That game's 13-6. The previous week, I think I was on the show with Luis. The previous week I told people, really start to watch this offense because I'm watching Drew Brees' arm start to get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker, and he can't push the ball. And if you muffle their receivers and disrupt what they're trying to do, there's such a timing offense that the slightest thing throws them off. And Jason Garrett even said in his press conference that, we talked about being a little physical. We'll take a pass interference here and there. But if we could just disrupt them, it'll play out more in the long run. And the week before that, I told people, watch this offense. And from that point forward, they never scored 24 points again the rest of that season, 7 games. And then they struggled to score in the playoffs. And you saw it last year. Kamara was almost like a different Kamara from the rookie year. Some low nagging injury, but they just could not get the ball to him the way they wanted to because of the timing and people saying, you know what? That's how I would coach him. Even me as a defensive coach, period. You know what I would tell my team to a star quarterback? I'll take a late hit early in the game. I'll take one late hit. Don't make it dirty.
So you're talking about Georgetown Pat Ewing rules.
Yeah. We're not gonna make it dirty. I'm not a dirty player, but if you got a step to take it. I want him to know. I want him to know that we coming. We ain't trying
not dirty.
to hurt
just take the penalty. Take the penalty.
But if you get hurt, you get hurt. So with my defensive backs, I would say the same thing. Listen, we could get burnt big today. If you're beat, grab them. I'm not tripping because our defense is good enough to set us back and maybe we hold them to 3. Okay, so we get a pass interference to 14, 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain, incomplete pass. All right, take the 3. We didn't give up the big play. The dome's not going crazy. And I think I saw a lot of that last year with the Saints. And I think this is a year that Brees probably should have walked away because I don't think he's got that arm anymore. I think now you can double – now bringing in Emmanuel Sanders is cool, but what's Emmanuel Sanders? He's the deep threat. And he can't really push the ball like that anymore. You still got Michael Thomas. So I'm with you, Snap, up until just about the Saints. I don't think the Saints are going to be that good this year, bro. I got the Saints at like 9-7, and I know people like, 9-7, and I think Brady's going to go 11-5. And the only NFC team that I think could stop him is if he would have to go to Green Bay, or I would say San Francisco, but he's such a competitor and he's so, sports arrogant, he would relish going back to his home area in the playoff game and knocking off San Francisco. So I'm going 11-5. I'm going 11-5, man, and I'm going in just a 1 year, because to me the Brady Belichick story, it's only for 1 year. Who has a better season this year? And I think Brady's going to win that.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, Veejay. You mentioned San Francisco, Brady going into Frisco. Who's the quarterback in San Francisco? Jimmy Garoppolo. You
Exactly.
think he's not have any extra incentive for that game?
You think, yeah, exactly. You think and remember, Belichick wanted to keep him. Robert Kraft pulled him aside and said, "No, you trade him because my surrogate son over here don't like this." Right. And this is my he said it the other day. He's always said, "I love Tommy like a son."
Yep.
And he made Belichick. Belichick's like, no, I want to keep this guy. Sooner or later, your son can't play. And Kraft's like, well, I'm the owner of this team. I say trade him and trade him now.
Yep.
And I thought that was the end of Brady being there. And one last thing, man, before we wrap up. We talk about Cam. I'm a big Cam fan. That's my guy, man. Cam is that dude to me. I think Cam Newton is easily one of the most disrespected athletes. Does Cam have a self-awareness issue? Sometimes he can. Sometimes he should watch what he does and says. The way he dresses, listen, man, dudes can do – hey, listen. Dude want to wear his mama's scarf on his head. I don't know. I'm not doing it.
You want to dress like Dudley Do Right.
Exactly. I'm not doing it, but I do support Cam. It's funny, though. I hate the way Colin Cowherd bangs on him. But the other day, he did make a point. If there were teams that were really desperate or really, really wanted him, you would hear something. And I hear nothing. I mean, I can reach out to a few guys I know in the media, man, a few young ladies I know, and I'm asking in different cities, are you hearing anything? And they're like, a lot of GMs they're not going to Colin Kaepernick him, but he is so unapologetically black. I can see the league saying, yeah, the dabbing and stuff was cool. You had white middle schools doing it all offbeat and high school teachers and everybody didn't even know what the hell they was doing this and dabbing. Don't even know that's got to do with a drug reference. But fine, you want to be a follower and do what a celebrity does. Here you go. I think we kind of had enough of you and we're going to say goodbye, which I hope isn't the case. But I'll start with you on this, Snap. A team or two, where does Cam end up? Not where you want him to be, just looking around the league, because you gave a really great, opinion on the Steelers. It kind of shocked that none of the three of us thought of it. That's a smart one. So I'll go to you on this, man. I'll go to you on this, Snap. Where does Cam end up?
I can see the Steelers. That's why I made the reference over there, because they're going to need something. I think that Cam is more the Allen Iverson of NFL.
Yeah.
Where they believed him in, his mouth would get you in trouble. There's certain things when you come to a work, because it is a job, where he just didn't portray himself. There's certain things you say, certain things you do when we give you this money and do these things. Great athlete, great, he's great, all that. But when it comes to work, there's certain things you got to say and you have to do. And I think that he's just put himself in the bind right now, that he relied too much on his talent than his work for what he's going on. So I just see him going to Pittsburgh. Hopefully, I think that's why they kept Ben, just to go down. I see either Pittsburgh or the Patriots.
Is he being traded or will he be released? Because he can't go to Pittsburgh via trade. No. Pittsburgh's got nothing to give.
Correct. I think they're gonna release him.
You think? Okay. Let me ask you this, and we'll switch over to you. You're a really big fan of him, Aaron. Before we let Luis finish it up, Aaron, should they do the right thing? Because I believe the right thing to do, if you don't want me, and you see there's not a lot of knocks on the door, phone's not really jumping off like that, just release me, let me go where I want to be. That's almost like a girl breaking up with you, but then telling you who you can't date. It's like, hold on, you broke up with me. I can date who the hell I want to date. You can't tell me where I can't. Like, let me go. Like, do you think that would be the right thing for them to let him go? And then, of course, throw some teams at me for Cam Newton.
No, I don't. I don't think they should do that because
it's business, right?
And here's the thing, exactly, just period. Okay. And there's a lot of people that might come and be like, "Oh, you're not real." It's like, listen, when you're doing this, you were forced to take the GM hat, take the devil's advocate hat. And the thing about it is, like, you gotta take color out of this. I know the white people don't like to do that when they're not giving us jobs we deserve, except for Miami. Shout out to your Dolphins. But like that's just the long and the short of it is that that's part of signing a contract. That's part of getting that kind of leverage as the GM. I'm not giving up something for nothing, especially when that something is a commodity. Even if it's not a commodity that I want, if I know someone else wants that, then I'm going to leverage that to get something. I'm not one of those guys that think, oh, I only could have gotten a 7th round pick. That's not like, well, a 7th round pick is better than nothing, because if I don't trade him and I just release him, then I don't get anything. And contract wasn't up. I released him, so I'm not getting a compensatory pick for him anyway. I just released him from his contract. So if I have an opportunity to turn Cam Newton into some sort of capital, whether it's draft capital, player capital, or some money relief as an owner, then that's what I'm going to do. That's for that. For in terms of the 2 teams that I'll put out there, I'll put out one team that I think would be kind of funny to see them get him, and then another team that I would like to see him in. I don't know where he goes because I just don't know what the market is for.
Can I guess on the funny? Can I guess on the funny team?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Washington, being that Robert Bears there. Okay, all right.
No. That's actually, I wouldn't even think about that one. But no, I'm thinking it because Gurley is a homecoming move anyway. Might as well continue along the homecoming trot.
Really?
Cam Newton.
And move on from Matty Ice.
And Snap can speak to this probably as well as anybody else on here because he's also in Atlanta. I have never, and I'm a bartender on here, so I get people venting to me every fucking Sunday. I have never heard so much disdain for one person than Atlanta Falcons fans have for Matt Ryan. Like, he didn't bring y'all to the Super Bowl.
Are you serious?
They hate
Matt Ryan here, man. They hate
him. Hate him.
Wow.
There are cooks in the kitchen at one of the restaurants I worked at who will come out on non-busy moments of the day on Sunday to ask me, what did Matt Ryan do? And if I say anything less than 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, I'm like, fucking Ryan. I hate him. And go right back to it. Like, they hate him.
That sounds like guys in the bar who've been fucking right. Oh my God,
they hate him. But yeah, so like getting a guy like Cam Newton, I mean, it's Black City. It's Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. Specifically Atlanta is where he's from, not just Joey, from Atlanta. So, getting him back home, Gurley back home, you're selling tickets. I don't know how many games you're going to win, especially, I don't think Gurley's even going to be a featured back there. I don't think he can. But having Cam Newton and Todd Gurley back there, 2 guys back home, you're not going to have any problems selling, especially out of this, like you said, your guy said this might be a 4 or 5 month thing. You worried about selling tickets in this new climate with the coronavirus and everything that's affecting sports, and that you will be able to sell no problem selling tickets with Cam Newton and Todd Gurley on your board. So that's one thing for them. That's like the funny team. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it should happen. The team that I would love to see, Buffalo Bills get them. Because what it's looking like right now.
Whoa! They got a quarterback. I ain't gonna lie. I hate the Bills. I like that kid, man.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, like, I don't remember who mentioned it specifically, but it's looking like he might end up having to take a backup role. It looked like he might have to, be one of those guys like an insurance policy or something like that. I like Josh Allen too, but the way that he plays is a risk. He's a big guy, but the way that he plays is a risk. Okay. How did Cam Newton play when he first came into the league? Same way. It's a similar offense. Better weapons. They just got Stephon Diggs.
Great defense.
Added to that offense. They still have John Brown. They still have Cole Beasley. They have a very good receiving core. They got that guy Knox at tight end who's pretty good. So they have good players there. Singletary in the background, I think his name, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's like Singletary or something in the backfield. So they have good pieces there on offense. I think if Cam Newton humbles himself, if Cam Newton is forced to bite the pill and be depth at a quarterback position, which I don't think he's ready to do. I don't think he will have to do. But what I would love to see, go to a team like the Buffalo Bills, and if you're not going to, get a chance to be a starter for a contender, then be a mentor for a year or two for a kid that's learning it in the league because he's running a similar type of offense and has a similar skill set that you had when you first came into the league. I think that would be great for Cam. And it might reset the market on him. It might reset what people think about Cam Newton if he does that. So he might be able to reset the market for himself. He's still, I think, 31 years old. You hit the market at 32, 33, you can still get your big contract.
Now, what if he has because he strikes me, once again, Cam's my guy, man. What if he has that Carmelo ego, though, where he's not a backup, or Allen Iverson? I don't know how many former MVP scoring champs come off the bench. Like,
how'd that work out for them?
Not at all.
That's why
not good.
You talking to a Sixers fan who was the biggest Iverson fan ever.
I know.
It didn't work out for him.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out for him. I was sad to see him go. The only person I've ever seen that really work out for.
And then after that, it was just like I forgot Iverson played for the Grizzlies, yo.
Yeah, the Grizzlies and the Pistons. He played for your Pistons.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, dog. I was listen. Raynell still throws it.
It was over by then.
Now because when he got traded to Detroit, dude, I was running around the house talking so much shit. I just knew the Pistons was going back to the because we was only like 2 years removed from that Game 7 last 2 minutes and 38 seconds flop against the Spurs. We should have had back-to-back Chauncey and them, Chauncey and Tay and Hamilton. They should have had back-to-back. We were up 3-2. Down 3-2, winning to San Antonio, won Game 6, and then was up with like 3:48, I think it was, left on the clock. Up by 7 and didn't score a point the rest of the damn game and let the Spurs come back and win Game 7. So we were only 2 years removed from that. And I thought getting AI, I was mad. I was hyped. And that shit was a flop. She's still now go, remember when y'all got hyped you know how your girl do. Remember when you was hyped when y'all got AI? Like, yo.
Right. They laugh like that shit don't hurt. It hurts.
Yeah.
You know like when you excited about a player, that shit hurts.
She told me I was she was like, why you worried about the season? Detroit ain't in the league no more. I was like, hey, hold on.
I mean, you a Michigan fan. You remember when Philly got C-Web? I was elated. When Philly got Elton Brand, I was elated. I was like, yo, like these are guys, first of all, that I grew up loving to watch play. These guys that know how to play.
I knew Elton Brand was average, though. I knew Elton Brand was average.
Well, he was on the end of his career, Elton. But I was just excited to have
his whole career, though. At Duke, he reminded me a lot of like Sheldon Williams. Like you could just see.
Don't disrespect him by saying Sheldon Williams. Elton Brand is a 20-10 guy.
First of all, Sheldon Williams is. I gotta understand what kind of lip game he got, what kind of mouthpiece.
Sheldon Williams. He
got babies by Candace Parker. I don't know how the hell that happened.
He's Quincy McCall. That's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like he's Quincy McCall. He played for a little bit, and then his biggest highlight is sitting on the sideline with his kid. Like, look at mommy. You see mommy? Wave at mommy.
Yeah. Wave at mommy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
why Sanaya fine ass out there?
Yeah,
like real talk, man. Has there been a more non-believable sports athlete in movie history than Sanaya Lathan as a basketball player? And I love Sanaya. I do, bro. Y'all see the picture? Y'all see the picture of the white baby suit on Instagram last week? Did y'all? Oh yeah, y'all need to go to her Instagram because she's not really showy like that. But go to her Instagram for this photo shoot and look at this white bathing suit.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah. She's ready.
Listen, you know a shorty bad when your own girl be like, "You see Sanaya?" I was like, Yeah. I see it like we have that kind of relationship. She'll be like, you see Miss Angela back? I was like, oh, in the purple bathing suit in the beginning of the beginning. Yeah, I seen that shit. I sure did. Like, all right, Louis.
I mean, that's
left, man. Cam Newton, 2 teams, man. Where would you want him to see him to go, and where would you where would you want him to see him to go, and where do you think he would end up?
I'll tell you what, I like what Aaron said about him going to Atlanta. When you want to get my thoughts about Matt Ryan and Atlanta, go see Jared Goff because they're pretty much one and the same to me as far as how I feel about the two.
I like, man, hold up. Well, time out. This is all new to me, and I'm not doing this for content. I'm being serious.
No.
I like Matt Ryan a lot. I did not know he was hated in Atlanta like that.
No, I
hate him.
He took him to a fucking Super Bowl. He won league MVP.
They don't care about that here, bro.
No, I'll tell you my issue with Matt Ryan. And I think, Veejay, you and I have talked about it before. He had the one good year where they went to the Super Bowl. Take that year away, what else has he done? You can show me the stats, but to me, stats don't tell the whole thing. Yeah. You could have a 400-yard game and throw for 6 touchdowns, but if you threw 4 picks in the game, then what difference is – and you lost. What difference is that 400 yards?
If you do that, then you're Jameis Winston.
Right.
Yeah.
So, to me, that's the way Matt Ryan's always been. Outside of that one good year where they went to the Super Bowl, he's never really put it all together. So, I kind of like what Aaron said about maybe Cam ended up in Atlanta. I think that would be a good spot for him. I think the best spot for him is with the Chargers. And that pains me to say because I hate the Chargers. But I think the Chargers, with the weapons they have, with Eckler back there, who's a lot like Christian McCaffrey, same type of back, not as good as McCaffrey. Yeah. And then you've got Keenan Allen out there. You know, you've got you did have Hunter Henry. I don't think he's there anymore. But
somebody decided to make him the highest paid tight end, or is that Hooper? Which one just got paid on
Hooper right,
for the
Browns.
Went to the Browns. Yeah.
But you've got an offense that utilizes the tight end like Cam knows how to do. You're going to be here on the West Coast in a new building, theoretically, if they're able to get the SoFi built in time. Now with the virus, we're not sure what's going to happen. But
great point. I didn't even think about that, man. You're right, because they're top construction out here in LA, and they're building that stadium just about 25 minutes from me, about 45 minutes from you. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have to wait and see if that's actually built or not. But I think the Chargers would be a really good situation for him. I think the Raiders would be a good situation for him. And I think the Denver Broncos would be a good situation for him. So if I'm going to put my chips on where I think he should go, is the Chargers. Where do I think he will go? I think he'll have to take a backup role in Carolina. But I also like what Chip said also about him maybe going to Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh would be a great situation for him as well.
Well, you know what? And Pittsburgh is great, but you brought up something really good. Does he just say, okay, I don't want to trade. I don't want to go nowhere. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to fight for my damn job. I mean, I would respect the hell out of it. Of course, Carolina could then show their true colors and go, okay, well, then we'll just waive you. Because then you can come back around if you're Cam's cap and say, all right, why didn't you just waive him to begin with? I understand what Aaron is saying. It's a business. But if it's such a business and you really want to get rid of me, once again, just say you don't want me here because I'm looking for trades. But what are y'all also asking for? That's something I don't think people on sports shows, radio, TV talk about enough when we go, oh, well, there's no market. Whoa. Is there no market for him, or is Carolina saying shit like, we want 2 firsts and a third? And some teams are going to go, no, we're not giving you 2 firsts and a third for Cam. No.
I think Cam could be had.
We'll wait until you cut him. Go ahead.
Look, it's all about leverage. Everything in sports when it comes to contract negotiations, whether you're the owner's side or you're the player side or you know, the reports are they're letting Cam, you know, pursue his own trade. It's all about leverage and what you want. Think back to this past NBA offseason with Kawhi Leonard. Okay? Kawhi Leonard went to Toronto and said, you get me Paul George, I'm going to stay. He goes to the Clippers and says, you get me Paul George, I'm going to come. And then what did he do with the Lakers? He just kind of left them hanging, you know, as like a third option. If he
didn't want to play with LeBron. Yeah, he didn't want to be around LeBron. No, he didn't want to be around LeBron punk ass.
But no, absolutely.
So he joined the Warriors? What kind of question is that? What?
No. But if the Clippers did not get Paul George, if Toronto did not get Paul George, where does he go? Does he go back to Toronto or does he go to the Lakers? See, my question for that would have been, if you weren't going to go to the Lakers, why string them out? You know, were you afraid they were going to get somebody, or did you just want to hamstring them for later? So it's the same thing here. If you're Carolina, if you don't want Cam, I understand what Aaron's saying. You've got the leverage to go get something for him, and you should do that. But or are you just going to waive him if you can't get anything anyway? So it's just a matter of who wants to play the leverage in what game.
And you know what makes that really effed up, man, is that if they do that and say everything blows over and this coronavirus thing is cool and we get back to normal, what we think is normalcy of life, and then teams, well, damn, we already got this guy, we already got this set, we already got this. Like we can't sign you, can't, or if we do, we can only do maybe like a 1 with a 2 with a second year, you know, franchise, or let's say a 3-year. Second year is your option. Third year is our option year. And we'll give you $12 million a year. That's all we can, you know, coming down from the mid-20s, the high 20s that he makes. So that would be really, really, really jacked up, man. So listen, man, I want to wrap up and I want to thank y'all. I know Sarah was only going to do like 30, 40 minutes, but as y'all can tell, and all 3 of you guys, while you're on here, we just start, and then we don't even know how to stop, man. That's just how much each of us love sports, and that's why I had you guys on. And I can show you my phone. I had 30 people I could have used, but Luis and I have a relationship. Snap and I go back to high school. Aaron and I, we stay bugging with each other. Sports Online. He used to work with my wife at ESPN, so I used to kick it with Aaron in Connecticut when they would do like the group functions over somebody's crib or something like networks do. Because you got a lot of people that's not from there, so it's like you just kind of attached to who's cool and whether it's and I could throw names at Aaron, whether it's Yao or Omar or B More or it's like
all doing big things.
Yeah, Yao's over at CBS. Omar's out here still chasing ass, but he doing something with TMZ in LA. And then you got B More. B More's working at Luis, B More, right? He's at Spectrum, right? Yeah, that's right. Aaron, Luis knows him. He works with Luis at Spectrum.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, and Omar actually he's back out and he's home in Miami. And
he left LA.
Production company. Yeah, he's got his own production company out in Miami. I can't think of it off the top of my head, so I can't really plug it for him right now. Apologies to Omar, but he got his own production company, and they got that Ron Artest doc that's coming out.
Yeah,
he did that. His company did that. He was a producer on that.
Well, I mean, it would be smart because he was actually talent coordinator while he was at ESPN.
Yep.
So he got
all the plugs.
So he
knows.
And my
friends, we got like a separate group chat where we're constantly hating on him and all the people that he gets to be around. Because it's just like it's honestly ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's a position at a network. And Omar was a very personable person, very extrovert. Like he ain't have a problem talking. He ain't have a problem flirting. He ain't have a problem hanging out. He like. I mean, there's a lot of us that are the same. Exactly. There's a lot. You're the same. You can put us in any room. With snaps the same way. You can put snap in any room with anybody. It don't matter. Let him get his gear. Let him show up fresh and kind of. He's like me. We just say back in the day. You ain't got to pull panties down, bro. Introduce me and walk away. Go get some.
Exactly.
Yeah. Introduce me and go get some juice. I got this.
I'm good.
Thanks for bringing me. You trust me. You gonna look around 20 minutes later and be like. Damn, nigga, you work in the room. You over here with all the yeah. That's why I wanted to come. So, and I gravitate to people like that. And Omar was definitely a guy. We used to see him because when we first moved out here, Raynell and I used to go to the ESPY Awards after party every year. And for some reason, I get either a bump or a tap on my shoulder. Like 4 straight years, I turn. It's Omar. I'm like, the hell are you doing in here, man? You know what's up, V? What up, V? I'm like, you get in every damn where, man. Are you kidding me? So that's the last time I seen him was there too, man. So and as you saw at the wedding, man, Raynell had. I know you remember Dana and all of them. They were out here. Talea was just out here because she was here for the Kobe Memorial.
Lovely.
Dog, man, she is. Yo, did you ever have her fried chicken wings?
I have not. I'm actually gonna fight her for that. I'm gonna fight her for that because she
used to fry that at Dana's all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight her for that. I had Dana's cooking. Dana made me.
Dana get down too.
She barbecued. She was nice. Dana get down. Whitney Hughley got to shout her out. She made some of the most fire buffalo wings that I've ever had. Like I'm talking about, you will lift them up, it'll literally fall right off the bone. Like it's crazy. Like the most tender buffalo wings you'll ever have. So shout out to all them. Shout out to all of my Connecticut fam, all my ESPN fam, both ex-cons and current cons out there. Like we love you guys.
We do.
It was a great time. I gave y'all my 20s, which is unfortunate.
The girls, because Raynell is still friends with like Kim Blue. Kim Blue is in.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Her and Corey got married. They had their son. She got a job with Microsoft in Seattle.
Yeah, they're up in Seattle. Yeah.
They're up there.
Corey and them is up there.
Oh my God! Like, all right. So I'm sorry, guys. And I got stories like that with everybody. Luis and I give everybody some love. Luis and I played in a celebrity softball game out here. We played in a celebrity sports talk softball game out here. And Luis is the only person that ever hit a home run and strike out in a celebrity softball game. He literally struck out. And, like, I ain't want to laugh because that's my guy.
I did.
It was just like, hold up, man. The ball's moving like 20 miles an hour, bro. He was trying to kill it. Like, I'm talking – he was swinging hard as shit at this ball. But he turned it on, ended up going – you won MVP that day. Ended up going like 4 for 6 with a home run. I myself went 4 for 5. Now, Luis, you can tell my dumb embarrassing story. The dumbest thing.
Well, no, I wasn't even going to tell that one. I was going to talk about the girl that lost her weave when she turned around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the girl with the weave that fell off. Oh, yeah. She was running. Oh my God! She was running around the bases. This chick was hauling ass, and she swung her head to look. Then her ponytail went.
No, she was at the plate. she swung and missed, and she swung so hard she turned around.
Oh, that chick. Okay, that chick. That's what you're talking about. All right. You're talking about that chick. I thought you were talking about the other one that was running around the bases. Yes, the one that swung in her weed. Yeah. Her weed fell off. Yeah. And then I got caught with the ball in the glove trick, y'all. Like,
but that's nothing.
Jesus Christ.
I did, Aaron. Aaron. Listen. My first two at bats, I had doubles, dog. I was out there. Oh,
that's that
I
light
ain't
skin in you,
stretched.
man. You get one hit, and then all of a sudden
I ain't swung a bat. I ain't swung a bat in years. I had my Yankee jersey on, bro. I was out there like, and it was like the first one was almost a home run. It was through the fence. Yeah. Another 6 feet. I hit a home run on the first swing. I was out there with the vanilla guns in the back. You feel me? So the second time I get up, I get a rocket. Gets all the way to the fence. So I'm on second base. I'm feeling good. I'm talking shit. My girl is recording me and sending the videos to my mama. Everybody, there's another league going on. They start to migrate, watch our game. Yep. So we got a little audience right now. Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh boy, nigga, it's hot. I'm sweating. I'm looking good. And I'm talking shit to the pitcher, and I'm talking shit to the girl on second base. And I take a big ass major league championship game, Willie Mays lead, dog. Got my hands down, looking like, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do shit. What you going, man? I'm the big vanilla poppy out here, girl. Better understand. Her and the pitcher, go, man, come here. They talk. I'm like, what y'all talking? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. They talking shit. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. I'm about to steal this base, man. But what you mean ain't no stealing? Like, I'm stealing. This ain't the law. You ain't the police. I'm stealing. The guy goes back to the plate. He's about to pitch. The next thing I know, she just taps with the glove. I'm like, yo, man, stop touching me. You got to earn to touch this. And she holds the ball and she's like, you're out, asshole. I said, oh.
now tell her what happened next.
I don't know. I walked back to the dugout in embarrassment. Like, I was embarrassed as hell.
Next pitch, I hit the home run.
Oh, that's right. You sure did. You hit the home run the next pitch. But, yeah, man. So I got stories with all of y'all.
LeBron would never get caught.
I'll give one with Snap. Snap going to love this one. And this is real talk. This is the story everybody knows us by. Snap and I competed for the same girl in high school. Yeah. But he won.
I got the baby
He won. He won though because I moved. That's why he won. He won because I moved. If I'd have stayed, you know what I'm saying? But, and it's funny because honestly, that's how everybody knows us. I ain't gonna put her name out there because we both got love and respect for her, and it's actually the mother of his oldest child. So it ain't no hate or nothing. But it was just it's like every time somebody mentioned him and I together, they'd be like, yo, remember when y'all used to compete over such? I'd be like, I remember. And they let me know. They'd be like, yeah, when you left, dog. I was like, yeah. The baby kind of told me that when I saw the baby. Yeah. When I saw the baby came around, when I came back to visit the next Thanksgiving, yeah, I was, I pretty much figured that I had, but nah, man, it was always cool, which made him so real. This is a true story. Snap, you remember this? We're at football practice in the summertime.
Yes.
And she comes up to practice with me.
Yeah.
Practice. We're standing on the side talking. Snap walks right up to me. Swear to you, Snap. I thought he was gonna fight me. Snap walks right up to me, and these are two 16 and 17-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Sticks his hand out. He go, better man won, man. Just make sure you take care of her. And picked up his equipment and turned around and walked off. And we was cool the entire football season from like that. It was like, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Who does that? And probably he could say now, he's like, yeah, because I knew I was going to get her back. I mean, you was a military kid. You wasn't going to be around for, I got other biddies. I got other biddies anyway. So yeah, I ain't. But
that was part of it. But in of it, I didn't want my quarterback, to have friction with me because basically you had to, run the ball. I knew the game, so it was like if I had friction with you, we wouldn't do what we did.
No, that's true. And that's a real. And you got once again. We both 17-year-old kids at this time, man. That's how we took sports, though. It's like, listen, man, I don't want to beef with y'all. We all on the whether it's our homeboy Andre, Lord rest his soul, man. He gone to be on with the Lord. You think about guys like Dante Ford. You think about guys, man. We had so many guys on that team that were so different, and a lot of us didn't even really hang out outside of football. That was what was really weird about it. We didn't really hang out that team. But when we got on the field, we had Coach Miller, and we understood that we had a really good team that year. Like I told you, and you saw in the text message, I'm still pissed at the Hobden double overtime. And that's 1994, bro. We're 26 years later, and I can still see Cornelius Lindsey going up, and I yell before the play starts to Dante, watch the keeper on that side. Yeah. And I still can remember watching Cornelius Lindsey with the ball out like this, high stepping into the end zone with the flash bulbs going off for the game-winning touchdown, and Hobden running onto our field and us teary-eyed walking like to this day. Yeah.
Like your field.
Yeah. Our dog. Our biggest problem, like we need this game. This game puts us in the States. We need this game. And their star quarterback got hurt the week before. They bring the sophomore JV kid up, who was good. I picked him off that game. I just want to make sure I throw that out there. Snap had you had 2 or 3 touchdowns on the ground. Snap had like 130. Like nobody could stop Snap. Snap was a 1,600 yard back. Like no one could stop Snap. We knew we could run the football. That's the one thing we knew at that time was 5'10", was about 205, 210. Stocky, and he was fast. He was one of the fastest kids. He ran track 1 to 100 in college. We knew we could run the football, but we didn't know anything about this kid. And he was big for a sophomore. He's maybe like 5'11", 6 feet tall, maybe about 170, 180 pounds for a sophomore coming up from the JV team. And they ran option, and we didn't practice option all week long because we thought we were facing a different quarterback. And I remember standing by the field house just in tears. Girlfriend trying to console me. My little brother there. We just like, to this day, we still had another game to go. But we knew we needed the Hobden game because if they lost the following week and we won, we would have won the tiebreaker. Basically, it was y'all went out, y'all in the States. If you lose the Hobden, though, you can lose the last game. But you got to get this Hobden. And everybody in the county knew it. Everybody came to our game. And it was just, to this day, I still see Cornelius Lindsey high-stepping, holding the ball out like this, looking back at Dante, looking back at Dante ass like that. Because they knew not to run to my shit. So I was lighting his ass up. Real talk. They knew not to run to my shit because I was lighting his ass. But anyway, personal stories I got with everybody here, man, and connections. I want to thank all y'all. Listen, hit everybody how they can follow you guys. Start with Aaron.
All right, Instagram at way too tall, WAY. The number 2, TALL 401. Twitter's the same thing. And then also on at No Rules Podcast on IG and Twitter.
First of all, way too tall. You seem like a brother that would have that shit. Way too tall. Way too tall.
You just gotta let them know.
Way too
you
tall.
Gotta let them. Not that I need the extra help, but it's nice
way too tall.
There's a lot of guys
69. So the girls got, you got 260. You got 269s in your tag name. Okay. Nah, that's man. Luis, let them know where they can meet you, player.
All right, man. You can find me on Twitter at LESTRADAJR. You can find me on Facebook at Lewis's Sports House, and you can be on the lookout here. We got some stuff coming up. Yes. We're gonna be doing some things, not just sports. So we're gonna do some pop culture. I actually got a movie podcast I want to be coming out with here in a little bit. That's gonna focus on a different movie or a different movie series every single time we do one. And I'm getting some details together, but we're gonna be hitting a Star Wars one here up pretty soon. So that'll be the first one on that.
Well, you're a big Star Wars fan, and also too, man. Congratulations! I know your wife's birthday is coming up, so happy pre-birthday to her. I know your daughter Gabby's birthday is coming up. Also, remember last year you didn't let me know if you're gonna do Disney. If it's open, let me know. You already know we got the 3+3 hookup to get you in, man, so you can save some bread in your pocket. Come on, man. Family man got to look out for family man, homie. Like, Aaron the only young, like single, can still do whatever he want to do. No girl, no kids, no wife shit. The rest of us got to help each other, man.
Right.
That's why his shit is way too tall. You know damn well, yeah. When you married, you can't. Like, when you get married, look, when you get married, Aaron, your wife gonna be so we gonna have to do something about this. Like, so what you trying to say? What's way too tall on you? Everybody need to know about.
Well, shit. During the quarantine, that shit don't help, bro. You out here jinxing my shit right now, though. I'm gonna end up fresh out the quarantine with a girl and a baby on the way.
Listen, let me tell you something, bro. I gotta throw some comedy when I can, bro. Let me tell you something. There's gonna be so many November babies, y'all. There's gonna be Quarantina, Corantel, Coronisha. There's going to be so many. Let me tell you, look, that's why I forgot one thing. Let me write it down real quick, and then we will really truly wrap up. But there's going to be, and look at Twitter. You see all the horny people on Twitter? Like, there are people like, oh my God, my fans only. I made a G today. I'm like, hold up, your pictures are $5. How many damn people bought pictures from you? Like, it is going. Oh my God! Like I watch it all. I like entertainment, man. I just scroll, and sometimes I'll just comment.
That's what I'm gonna do when I get off this. Scroll the Twitter timeline.
Oh my God! There's so many horns. So, and you and ATL, bro, you shouldn't be. Listen, I've been there.
Yeah, no,
you know me. We both comfortable. You're good looking, bro. You shouldn't have no problem.
No, it's not. You jinxing me though. That's what I'm saying. It's like
I'm enjoying myself.
You jinxing this. I'm telling you. I'm gonna get that text message in like about 3-4 weeks, and you're gonna be the first phone call I make. I'll be like, nigga.
And I'm gonna say, congratulations. I'm gonna say, oh, congratulations, man. Welcome to the club. Where's the wedding? Like, I want my ID. I want my
as soon as they lift this quarantine, I'm on the first thing smoking out there. Come stomp you out in the LeBron James
make
jersey.
Sure you bring your baby mama with you so we can do family time. So her and my wife can talk about baby stuff. I'll give you some outfits that your baby can use. Yeah, come on out. It's all good. It's all good. You old enough anyway, man. Time to start to leave your legacy. Anyway, really quick before we let Snap give his info and then we wrap up. Aaron, I asked you earlier, just real quick, over or under 10 athletes that are going to get in complete trouble during quarantine.
Oh, it's over.
Over.
100% over.
Luis, over.
Oh
under.
yeah, sorry. Over.
Oh, Snap. Over. Under. How many athletes going to really fuck their career up during quarantine?
Bro.
Okay. Yeah. Snap, where can they find you, player?
Man, you can find me on YouTube, IG, and Twitter at Snap Judgment. And that Snap is SNS.N.A.P. Or you can catch me on Facebook as Jermaine Snap Thurston. Or you can catch me on YouTube, IG, and Twitter every Sunday from 4 to 5 on my podcast, the Snap Judgment Show. You guys, listen, really watch that. He puts the clips up. And they do a great job. He's got a bomb, beautiful black female host. They do their green screen shit. And I'm gonna tell you, man, you're doing it because I watched when you first started it, when you just had your camera set up and y'all was in the studio. You had your kids sitting behind you, like you had to bring the kids with you. So now you guys have the green screen going, and the fact that you're getting a lot of talent every week, you're bringing somebody new in for your show, bro. And I just think that's dope. A lot of times people do shows and they just want it to be about them. That's why I wanted to set this up because I want to use my platform. Somebody might hit me up and be like, yo, who's this nigga? I like what the Snap dudes are, or that dude Aaron, or somebody from Aaron. Somebody from ESPN going to see this and going to be like, oh, yeah.
Of course.
What up? Yeah, what up? Yeah. So I like to put people on, and I see you doing that with your show, man. So Luis and Aaron, when you get a chance, I know everybody's got their own agenda and stuff. When you get a chance, though, follow them on social media and check out the show. They do a really good job, and they talk some really cool in-your-face topics. So I appreciate you guys, man. The inaugural episode. Wow. That was good, man. The Quarantine Quad Sports Talk Show with your man, provided by Vesta Sports, Veejay, Vernon, Husky, man. Y'all stay easy. God bless to all of y'all and y'all families, man. And I'll holler at y'all. I might keep y'all as a team. I like this kind of team we got going. That's what I might do. I might set up like 3 or 4 different teams and then at one point have one big sports battle royal for whatever team win. Get a $5 gift card to Starbucks.
I'm down.
I'm in.
All right, God bless. I love y'all, man. 100.
All right, good night, bro.